have the job in the centre against Terry Wallace. But I don't really believe that that will worry Wallace. He's the sort of player that gets his kicks under close attention and in amongst the packs anyway. So it doesn't really matter whether they tag Wallace or not, in my opinion. Mark Browning does not like being tagged, and we've often found that John Kennedy is the player who has the task of against the Browning. But then that's when Browning was playing as a half-back. In recent times, we found Browning playing either in the centre or as a ruck rover. And it makes it a little bit awkward for the Hawks if they intend to use John Kennedy, because they then either have to have Tuck as a rover or not have Tuck on the ball, which is something that they do not like to have. And if I were Ricky Quaid anyway, if they do send Kennedy out to tag Browning, I would then say to Browning, well, OK, you tag Tuck. And, you know, they've either got to decide, you know, what's going on or whatever it might be. And surely for some short moments you may have a Swan running him in on the loose. But it's a little bit more awkward for Hawthorn to do that, but now that Browning has left the half-back flank and is playing on the ball.
Two players back after suspension, Lou, Bertie Domenico and Bernie Evans, and when they were playing last, of course, they were both in good form.
Well, the big thing about Bernie Evans playing up here for the Swans, he gets out on that outer side wing position and he becomes a sensation. It'll be interesting to see whether Hawthorn allow those smaller players to break away to that outside wing, which they do most of the time when they play up here. But I know Alan Jeans, a little bit on the defensive side sometimes, will certainly have that covered.
He's winning you anyway, you've only said little.
A little bit, I'd say.
All right, the umpires for this afternoon's match are Shane Nolan and Ian Robinson. Round 13, the Swans and Hawthorn, and we'll be back for the first quarter in just a moment. The main scoreboard in goal here at the SCG. Hawthorn will be attacking the left, which is the MA Noble stand-in.
John Reid and David Winbanks. Reid out at the moment with an injury. And just looking down there, I see that Russell Green has gone down to the back pocket for the Hawks.
Winbanks has been given marching orders, Bob, hasn't he, really, from the Swans?
It did mention that in the press. And
I thought he was rumoured to go to Essendon. That was the latest I heard, but nevertheless here this afternoon at the SCG. Maybe they've had second thoughts.
One of the players that we'll be watching today will be Rhys Jones, who didn't play so well last week against Essendon and
was taken off twice.
Well, taken off twice, had a bad day and received a little bit of abuse from the Essendon crowd. There he is on screen at the moment.
He's a better player than that.
Well, and he's played some great games up here, and one memorable game was the game against Collingwood when he had the injured shoulder, came out and had 4 possessions and kicked one magnificent goal, Bob.
There's no doubting the talents of Rhys Jones, Lou. Domenico and Moncrief have gone to the bench for the Hawks, and Jackson and Sterling for the Swans. With Moncrief going onto the bench, Michael McCarthy has gone to full forward, and Lee Matthews alongside him in the pocket. So it looks as though Swab will start off as first rower for the Hawks.
So the first quarter just about to get underway, and we welcome viewers through ADS in Adelaide. Weather in Sydney, cool, showery.
Well, the centre's very heavy, Pete, but the rest of the ground is in magnificent condition.
It seems so from up here, Lou, anyway.
Well, Bob and I have had a trot around and we'll guarantee you that.
First quarter from the Sydney Cricket Ground on 7's Big League. The Swans versus Hawthorn. Barry Round and Payton. Payton wins the first tap away, tries to get it tonight. Socket off the ground by Payton up towards half forward, and the mark is taken down there by Ackley in front of Lee Matthews. He's gone for the hand pass, gets it over to Carroll. Up towards centre wing. Evans missed. Over goes Rhys Jones, picked up by Wright. A short pass down towards right half forward. The man in front is Ian Payton, and he'll be paid the mark by umpire Robinson.
And South Melbourne have made, or the Swans I should say, have made one early move, Bob. I see that Cruz is playing at centre half forward.
Yes, Tony Danaher has gone to centre half back against Peter Knights.
Mark number 1 to Barry Round, and a short pass back towards actually centre field, and the mark is taken out there by Carroll.
And John Kennedy is running right alongside Mark Browning.
Well, we predicted that. At the back, Kelvin Moore goes the punch. Russell Green couldn't take it. Steve Torbett is down there, picked up by Eade. Back to Green from right back pocket, a short pass. Polkinghorne nearly got offloaded. 20-metre hand pass to Shields. Wallace. Kick number 1 is smothered, and Wallace got one a little bit too high, shook him up a bit. and it will be a boundary throw-in. And Wallace still shaking his head. Round and Payton, so Payton's won both their duels so far. Hawthorn get driven forward by Tuck. That could be a free kick for in the back to Buckenara, and in fact it is Buckenara right half forward.
And we've played about a minute and a half of this first quarter. Buckenara with a chance to score here from about 50 metres out. On a bit of an angle, but I think the distance may be a little bit too far, but he's a pretty good kick, this guy. Ah, that's a bad one. Well smothered by Carter. Back there to Shields again. He stumbles. He's grabbed by Hounsell. Umpire said he tripped him or grabbed him by the leg. Crowd not too happy about that. A short kick to Pate. Another hand pass coming over to Rodney Eade, out to Swab. And Swab at half forward has a pot shot at the goals. And there's a good mark taken there by Darryl Sutton down there at full back. And a pretty handy player since crossing over, this fellow. One of the few good players they had last week against Eston. The ball out there now to Dennis Carroll. Carroll's kick is a long one back to centre field of Frangalis. But he got under that. Rodney Eade takes the ball away from Frangalis. Grabbed by Smith. Still gets a kick out wide. Coming in to meet at Shields at half back. Fumbles. He's knocked out of the way. And finally going after it now is Payton. No, it's Payton. Yes, a hand pass to Tuck. Tuck's kick is a long one to centre half forward. A chance here for Judge to mark. Umpire's paying that.
Hounsell down there, Luke.
Well, that's the clash he had out there just a moment ago. It's Judge at centre half forward, about 45 metres out from goal. And, of course, this fella has really come into form over the last 3 or 4 weeks after having a bad trot. Ken Judge firing at the goals. A long kick, and it's a beautiful shot for goal. It's the first score on the board for Hawthorn.
We're approaching the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Hawthorn lead 1-0. Wallace out of the centre. Matthews, strong mark over Ackley, so that's one apiece so far.
Yep, manoeuvred him beautifully that time, Peter.
And Ackley has a big job, and likewise Matthews is not going to have an easy afternoon getting clear of Ackley. So that could be one of the key duels of the day. Lee Matthews at centre half forward, 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. And Matthews touched through on that particular occasion. Just didn't quite get the distance, the ball becoming a little bit heavy. So Hawthorn lead by 7 points. Again, back with Darryl Sutton, who this time...
So I couldn't understand Barry Round then, Peter, not getting into the goal square to help Darryl Sutton maybe stop the ball from being touched.
Sutton again going towards the members' stand side. A chance for Evans, back after suspension. Gets solidly met by Tuck. Mew, hand pass to Tuck. Rhys Jones. And the ball up, says umpire Robinson, which will take place on the centre wing, which is probably the driest part of the ground here. The centre, of course, is a little bit higher than the rest, and the ground drains perfectly, but it's a bit of a mud heap there at the moment. Knocked down by Payton, doing well so far in the ruck. Trying to get up, Kennedy, not having much success. Likewise, Schwab. A stalemate, says umpire Robinson, and again we'll see a ball up.
Ball up on the centre wing position. 1-1, 7 points. Hawthorn to the Swans yet to score. Ball knocked out by Round. That's his first win from those knockouts. Finally kicked back by Rhys Jones to centre half forward. Coming in to meet it is Brady. A hand pass back here now to Cruz. Cruz balks, and the ball is finally sent up there towards the goal, but it's off target and through for 1 point. Cruz, of course, playing at centre half forward. Bob, is that a good move?
Well, I think they're a bit worried about Cruz against Peter Knight, so Tony Danaher has the job of picking up Knights, which means that Cruz has to go to the other end of the ground.
Okay, the ball back into play now by Calvin Moore. Straight down the centre. I think that'll be the tactics for Hawthorn today. At the back is Rhys Jones. Langford's there, can't get clear. Kicks the ball back off the ground, back towards Dennis Carroll. A hand pass misfires to Ackley, picked up by Knights, over to Tuck. And this looks dangerous. There goes Tuck now with a long kick up there towards Buckenara. And Buckenara's got the mark only about 15 metres out from goal. On about a 45-degree angle. See that in replay again. And, of course, it never looked, or he never looked like missing that one. There's the shot, the angle. Not a difficult shot for Buckenara. Very accomplished kick for goal. Lines them up. And, of course, that's Hawthorn's second goal. 2 goals, 13 points. Hawthorn to the Swans, 1 goal, 1 point only. It's just over 7 minutes gone to the first quarter.
And Wallace again going down with a rather heavy one. Interestingly, Peyton has beaten Barry Round on every occasion they've gone for the ball, and of course Round was beaten by Simon Madden when we last saw the Swans play against the Bombers. Danaher's kick up the half forward, Green in front, couldn't take the slippery ball. Brady gets a hand pass out. Cruz has a shot at goal, his second of the afternoon. That one's a little bit better from Max Cruz, and he's brought up a goal.
Well, that move may be coming up, or could come up for the day, Bob.
Well, Cruz is one of those players who will have a dip no matter where he's playing, Lou, so whether he's on the forward line or in defence, it does not really matter. He will be performing as he gets a good hand pass from Craig Brady. And we watch on replay now as Max Cruz puts the ball right through the centre. So it's 7 points to 13. Only one kick between the sides, but then, of course, we're only 8 minutes into the first term.
And, of course, Max Cruz has kicked all the Swans score. He kicked a point before and then brought up a goal. So that's a good move so far. We're just past the 8-minute mark now of the first term. Round wins one from the centre, tries to get it to Cruz, but it's picked up by Schwab, who hooks it back, looking for Knights. Knights on centre wing, can't take the mark. The two blondes are after it, Knights and Rhys Jones. Knights gets there first. He's got opposition from two of them. Rhys Jones wins out. He certainly had more assistance. Fires out a beautiful hand pass. Picked up by Stevie Wright. Back to right half forward. Ball bouncing away from Mew and Frangaris. The latter tapping it back into play. I thought that was still in.
Oh, so did the crowd too, Peter.
I agreed with you.
Anyway, the boundary umpire disagrees, and that's what counts, I guess. Knocked down by Torbett to Wright, gets rid of it quickly, back to Browning, hooks it up to the forward pocket, and bounces through for one behind. The Swans taking them to 1-2, and they trail Hawthorn by 5 points in the first term.
Just over 9 minutes gone, a short pass going out there wide, and he takes the mark down there in the back pocket. Very reliable half-back flanker out there to Shear. That's a good pass. He's out there at half-back now. Out there on that outer side of the ground. Kick up there towards Peyton and Round. It's kicked off the ground by Wallace, a real terrier. Now he's got the ball. Never gives up, this guy, as the ball goes back there to Buckenara. Nearly one at the back. Ackley spins out of the pack, but well smothered by Wallace again. Always in there trying. Goes after it once more, and the ball will be bounced out there on that half-forward flank position for Hawthorn, about 60 metres out from their goal. Well, if every team had a try like Wallace, they'd win every premiership. The ball knocked out now by Round, comes back there to Matthews. He fumbles, Round threw it out. It's tapped back again towards Smith. He's grabbed. Didn't have the ball that time, and the umpire will pay the free kick to Smith out there at half-back. Greg Smith. Kick back over there towards centre half forward. Cruz in the front posse. They're swamped him there. Right pouncing on the ball. Brushes through the pack. Gets a hand pass out, but Calvin Moore's in the way at centre half back. Back towards centre field. There's a good mark to Dano. He's got the job of minding Knights today. A hand pass to Ackley. The Swans getting their running game going as it goes out there to Rhys Jones. It may be a free kick here. It'll go to Polkinghorn out there at half-back for Hawthorn. A quick hand pass. Coming over to Green. Not a good one. Back it goes again to Peyton. Good play by Peyton over to Schwab. Ball out wide to Buckenara. Coming into meter to Sutton. He's still going after it. Ducks his head. Tries to get a hand pass out. The umpire said on the shoulder. And Sutton will take that free kick for the Swans out there on the wing position.
Well, Colin Hounsell, the way he's moving loose, should come straight off the ground.
He's a little bit slow, isn't he? Sutton from left half-back flank. Mew at the back could have nudged out his opponent there, actually, but he's taken the mark. And Hounsell looking very proppy. And, of course, he incurred that injury in the first few minutes of play. He's still out there. Obviously, they're a little bit, well, living in hope, perhaps. In front is Torbett. Moore goes the punch. Almost a mark. Play on. Gary Ayres tries to do just that. Scooped out to Peyton, doing a lot of useful work around the ground at the moment. Schwab, good kick to half forward. Looking for Buckenara. Well-fisted clear by Darryl Sutton. Browning's there. The Swans through Danaher get it clear. Past the muddy centre. Frangaris shoots out the hand pass again to Hounsell. Oh, he's moving okay now. Up the full forward. Good kick. Could almost be a goal. And it hit the post. Bad luck for the Swans. And Hounsell, although when he slows down, I must agree with you, Bob, still looks a bit proppy. So 9-13, a 4-point advantage to Hawthorn. Kelvin Moore, well beaten last week by Bernie Quinlan. Langford tries to mark it from behind. Green steams his way through. Looks for the hand pass to Chris Mew. Not a good one. Danaher, the opportunist, right centre wing. Oh, Knight's just missed one there from Stevie Wright. And a fine mark taken by Polkinghorne between back pocket and half-back flank.
Just over 12 minutes gone, and Hawthorn in front by 4 points as the ball goes back towards Hawthorn's half-forward line. Down go the pack now, judged in the thick of things, but the umpire will ball it up about 65 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Well, quite a few interesting moves here, but the one, I think the major move was Cruz to centre half forward for the Swans. Ball knocked out that time by Payton, as Peter said, doing very well in the ruck. Actually, he's on top of Round as the ball goes out of bounds in that forward pocket position about 30 metres around from that Hawthorn goal. At the moment, Hawthorn are 2 goals, 1-13 to the Swans, 1 goal, 3-9 points. Grabbed here this time by McCarthy, over to Swab, and a good pass and a mark to Buckenara, only 20 metres out from goal directly in front. So a chance to kick Hawthorn's 3rd goal. Very handy player, Buckenara. He's been a good buy since coming out from West Australia, Bob.
He's a very dangerous player, Lou. You can't afford to give him any leniency whatsoever.
Well, once Buckenara had that shot, and there's no doubt about that one, it's another goal to the Hawks. 10 points the difference. And the ball over there to Tuck. His kick is not a good one, but there's Wallace. That kick not much better, but once again it's Payton, as we mentioned before, doing a great job. A hand pass out there to Polkinghorne. A long kick up there towards the full forward zone, and McCarthy got his hands to it, couldn't hold the mark. But there's Buckenara with a beautiful hand pass to Matthews, but he's off target, and it's through for 1 point. So the Hawks move to 3 goals, 2, 20 points. To the Swans, 1 goal, 3, 9 points.
Very nearly a mark to McCarthy there.
Just about.
Obviously, they prefer him at the moment to Moncrief. Short pass. That wasn't a mark to Tony Morwood, who had very much an off day against Essendon. And it will be a ball up, says umpire Shane Nolan, in the right forward pocket for Hawthorn. Taken by McCarthy. Well, in fact, almost. Carroll's hand pass didn't get too far. And once again, we'll see a bounce. Watching McCarthy's display in the replay against Fitzroy, and probably was his best game for Hawthorn. He wins it again. Carter is there. Gets through the pack beautifully. A free kick, though, the end result. Tackle too high. Rod Carter, left back pocket for the Swans, who's been very solid in defence this year. Carter, long kick up towards the centre wing position. Knocked away by Mew. Evans is there, likewise Hounsell. Well, he's moving okay now, Bob.
Yes, he certainly moves well once he has for the ball.
Frengalis traps it beautifully, gets clear of Eade, puts it up to full forward. Ayres is there, could almost bounce through for a goal. Off target.
It's a beautiful lead there by Brady, and I felt that Frengalis would have been far better off on that occasion if he'd given the ball, tried to pass the ball to Brady with a beautiful lead. He got well clear of Gary Ayres.
Maybe he didn't see it. Throw in, forward pocket, knocked away by Kelvin Moore. Eade and Wright. Kick is short, up to the half-back line. Rhys Jones, good use of the body, flicks out the handball to Browning. Long kick by Browning, that's what we expect from him, and Browning has put it through for 1 behind. So scores, 7th big league from the Sydney Cricket Ground, a difference of 10 points in favour of Hawthorn.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play. I noticed that Langford's got the job of minding Rhys Jones, Bob.
Yes, Russell Green going into the back pocket because of to pick up Stevie Wright, and when he changes off the ball. And Langford has played on the wing for the last couple of weeks.
Well, that Shields bumped him, but he recovered quite okay. Goes for a pass. Oh, well intercepted by Carter. What a great buy this fella's been for the Swans since switching over, I think, from Port Melbourne after coming from Fitzroy. Taken away by Hounsell. He's moving pretty well now for a player that's limping. Goes after it again. Down goes Danaher into the thick of things there. Tries to scoop it out. Now it's Matthews' turn to break clear. A hand pass back to Wallace, a short pass, and Buckenara's got it again. Looking a very dangerous player out there at half-forward at the moment, Buckenara. Already kicked 2 goals up to this stage of the match.
And taken 3 marks.
So he's one of the stars, and we must give credit to Payton, too, doing very well in the ruck, number 12 for Hawthorn. Waiting on Buckenara from about 45 metres out. Oh, that's a bad kick. And Carter in there trying again, and he's battling hard from Buckenara, and the umpire will ball it up out there at half-forward for Hawthorn.
Lou Buckenara actually has got 2 opponents. When Matthews is off the ball, Ackley goes across and takes Matthews. When Tuck comes off the ball, then Ackley takes Buckenara, and then Carter takes Tuck.
Would you mind repeating that again, Bob? It's completely confused me.
I want to write it down, Bob.
But I know what you're talking about, but it's got them confused out there too as we see the kick going once again to Buckenara. And there's no doubt in this first quarter, he's the danger man that the Swans have to watch. But there's a shocker, and that's certainly giving the Swans a chance to have to relieve that pressure that's put on that defence, and Ackley to take the free kick down there in that back pocket position. Matthews wasn't going to pick that up, but he is now. Just goes to show what a great sportsman he is. That's particularly when you're playing on his side. Ball kicked out wide towards the wing position. Danaher in front. Couldn't hold the mark off the top of the pack. And the ball is out of bounds on the centre wing position. Just over 18 minutes gone. 3 goals, 2-20 Hawthorn. To the Swans, 1 goal, 10 points.
Throw in on centre wing. Payton again winning the ruck duels. He got his hands to it, but it comes to Smith eventually. Smith hooks it back. Wallace tries to trap it with one hand. Not successful. It's taken by Evans. Frangalas and Eade backing up well Russell Green. Back to centre wing, looking for Tuck. Tuck doesn't let him down. Marked in front of Cruz. Tuck is on centre wing. In the background, the stand demolition and reconstruction. Shields doing well on that wing so far in the first term. Up to half forward, looking for Knights. Danaher's right there with him. Trapped by Roberts. Over goes Judge. And once again a bounce at centre half forward for Hawthorn.
Well, Bob, I suppose you could say that Hawthorn are playing a little bit on the negative side to try and stop this running game of the Swans.
I wouldn't exactly call it negative, Lou, when you consider the way that Shields and these players are making position and getting on their own.
Hounsell back to centre field. 2 Swans clashed and upset each other, I think, there. It comes to Tony Morwood. Rhys Jones comes in to help him. Umpire Ian Robinson, though, has decided to bounce it. Or in fact, he may even throw it up there because it's part of the heavy section of the ground. No, he's confident of a bounce, and it bounces fairly well, too. Payton again has front posse. Evans is right there with him. Scoops it out in front, but it's put there for Shields. Schwab, rather. Kennedy clashes with Roberts. Tuck flicks out the hand pass to Shields again. Carroll is right there with him. Shields looking dangerous at the moment. Back it comes to Kennedy. That's his first kick for the day. Sutton and McCarthy. And the ball taken over the boundary line by Ackley. So in the right forward pocket for Hawthorn, a throw in. Hawthorn doing a fair bit of attacking, but the Swans' defence so far standing firm. McCarthy and Round. At the back is Kennedy. Danaher. Short kick, and that's barely 10 metres, but the umpire has paid the mark to Buckenara, mark number 4. And Ackley a little bit disappointed that it was played as a mark, for the reason, I guess, that I mentioned. And the crowd not appreciating it either. And Buckenara, I'm sure, won't make the same same mistake this time. I guess that's 10 metres.
I don't know.
Oh, well. We'll get a yardstick out. This time he doesn't make the same mistake of kicking into the man on the mark and brings up his third.
16 points the difference at the 21-minute mark as we see the Hawks go back into attack that time, and Buckenara again as we tip there in the piece. This is the danger player.
That's 5 marks he's taken.
Well, he's already kicked 3 goals out of their total of 4. That's not a bad effort from the half-forward flank. And as Bob mentioned, the tactics that the Swans are using is certainly not paying dividends at the moment. I think they should switch their ideas. Waiting on Buckenara from about 30 metres out, directly in front. We'll wait on the result from that one. It's a point. So they're certainly bombarding the goals at the moment. Hawthorn, 4 goals, 327. To the Swans, 1 goal, 10 points. And wait now for the ball to come back into play.
I think I'd give Dennis Carroll the job of Buckenara at the moment.
I think you've got to put 1 player on him, Bob. That's a good mark to Barry Round.
Push out.
Push out, so the free kick is going to Payton. He doesn't even know he's got the free kick. Still going back to Payton, even though the Swans are playing on.
I think the only person in the ground knew there was a free kick to Payton was the umpire.
Well, Payton, as we mentioned, also has been a dominating player, particularly the bounce. Well, we watch this now. Oh, I don't know whether he's pushed him out or whether he's jumped down or not. The ball back there towards full forward. Ball punched out by Carter towards the boundary line. A hand pass coming back. Carter, beautiful balk that time. Gets the ball back out there towards half-back. Payton in front's got another mark. A quick hand pass to Matthews. And he goes for a pass. It's a good one. And the mark taken there by Kennedy, who nearly went off the mark that time. Decided to go back and have a direct shot. He'd only be about 40 metres out, if that. Directly in front.
Sterling warming up for the Swans, Lou, on the boundary line.
But remember, he's a half-back flanker by nature. There's the kick. And it's through for 1 point, hitting the post. So at the 23-minute mark of this first quarter, Hawthorn doing very well. 4 goals, 4-28. To the Swans, 1 goal for 10 points. The ball goes out there to Wackley in the back pocket. Quickly plays on, looking out there for Roberts, but coming in to meet it as Polkington. He missed it completely. Now there's a chance for Morwood to go for a pass, looking for Wright. Wright's got the mark at centre half forward. It was a damn good mark by this little rover.
Townsville finally off the ground and replaced by Sterling.
Kick up there towards full forward, but once again the Swans are off target and the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket.
The other end of the ground, Lou, Dennis Carroll has been shifted onto Buckenara.
Well, they must have heard you, or must have heard your thoughts, Bob. Let's say that.
Boundary throw in, right forward pocket for the Swans. Knocked away by Torbett, but it's taken away by Eade. And Wallace marking in front of Rhys Jones, and we'll get a 15-metre penalty. Terry Wallace, left half-back flank. Already has had 4 or 5 kicks so far in the first term. Langford getting high, spoiled his own teammate, and it comes to the Swan skipper Barry Round, who's got a fortnight to get rid of it. Subsequently finds Rhys Jones on right centre wing. He plays on directly. And that's a good mark brought in by Max Cruz.
There's a better pass than the mark, I'll tell you that now, Peter.
Well, Cruz has already kicked the Swans' only goal. He's kicked 1-1 out of their total of 1-4. Up towards centre forward. Kelvin Moore fisted away. It's taken by Smith, and that's a goal. Only 2 goals the difference now in favour of Hawthorn as it's socket out of the centre. Roberts and Judge. Roberts is a half-back. Kick almost smothered. It goes to Knights. Knights flicks out the hand pass. Kennedy, forward pocket, a snapshot at goal, and the reply, 1 goal. Well, a bad piece of defence there, but it was well done by Knights, 2-4 to 5-4.
Yes, not good play by young Ian Roberts on that occasion. We watch it again on replay as the ball, and we see Roberts in trouble. Great play by John Kennedy there. You could say that he fully deserved to get that goal because it was the smother by Kennedy that actually caused Roberts' handball to come astray.
Well, we're just on the 26-minute mark, and Hawthorn doing very well in this first quarter. 34 points to the Swans 16. The Swans not getting up to their normal breakaway first quarter, Peter.
Today, Luke.
Not today, because this is a tough, tenacious side, Hawthorn, as the ball kicked off the ground that time by Evans, back towards centre half forward for the Swans. In goes Mew, still won't give up. Oh, Cruz has grabbed it. The umpire's found a free kick to Mew before that. So Mew to take the free kick at centre half back for Hawthorn.
And of course, the Swans against Footscray, Lou, didn't hit the front until the third or the final term.
That's right. Ball back towards centre half forward. Coming in to meet it now as Knights. Punt goes for the punch. Ball comes back to Langford, grabbed too high by Rhys Jones, and will take the free kick. So they'll go back into attack again. Kick not a very good one. It'll be okay. Matthews will mark this.
And it's a free kick to Sutton, Luke.
Well, it's a bit of bad luck because Matthews never looked like dropping it. A hand pass coming out now to Browning down there in the back pocket. Browning goes for the long kick, looking for Morwood against Polkinghorn. Got his hands to it, couldn't hold the mark. In comes actually threw it out there to Polkinghorn, but the umpire said that's okay. Back it goes to Matthews, and Sutton bounces on the ball. Knocks it over to Browning. His kick is a hurried one. Actually, he's put off balance that time. There's Pate doing a great job on the ruck today. Over to Polkinghorn, and the ball back towards half forward. Hits the deck again. In goes Tuck, and this fella scoots around the pack knife. Look at that pass to Buckenara. On his own, running to an open goal. A hand pass, beautiful play to Dudds, and Judge has got no worries about putting that one through.
You know, he handballed it through the goal, actually.
Himself, he's playing the part of Buckenara, but he's played a great first quarter, Bob.
Yes, he certainly has, and Dennis Carroll a little bit loose on that occasion. As we see on replay, Tuck bringing it out, and nobody anywhere near Buckenara. Then he had a choice of, well, 2 or 3 players. He gave it to Judge right on the line, and you see for yourself how easy it was for Ken Judge to bring up his second goal.
6-4 to 4-4 at the SCG. Judge 2, Buckenara 3 for Hawthorn, the main goal kickers. 2-4 to 6-4. Thank you, Bob. That fell off the chair. Up to half forward. A chance for Roberts there. He'll get to the ball first. Still as elusive at the commentary desk, Bob, as you were out in the ground. Knocked away by Polkinghorn. It's out of bounds on centre wing, and we'll see a throw in. We're playing time on in the first term, and you're watching 7th Big League from the SCG. Torbett and Payton. Payton wins it to Knights, over to Green. Green in a little bit of trouble from Smith, tries to get it back to centre field. A chance for Schwab. Back to Green. Green from half forward. Long kick up the full forward. Matthews, too long for him actually. And Matthews has to be content with seeing the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Bob, as we predicted, Hawthorn not messing about with the flanks, going straight down the centre as much as they possibly can.
Yes, they're teaming a lot better together, Lou, and they've got players running the position, running past for the handball, and whenever the Swans do gain possession, and right now it's a Hawthorn possession as Terry Wallace puts it right through the centre.
Well, Terry Wallace roving that well. He saw the direction the palm out was coming from the boundary throw-in, and Wallace, you can't give him any latitude, bringing up his first goal.
Yes, we watched the replay this time, and well, Mark Browning, if he's tagging Terry Wallace, lost concentration on that occasion and was looking for the possession of the ball himself, and a great piece of play by Terry Wallace, who really does cover some territory. He must be one of the fittest players in football.
And his knee, I believe, is standing up fairly well. He was troubled with it about a month back, but I believe it is getting a little bit better. 7-4 to 2-4. Talbot having a run in the ruck, but still gets beaten by Payton, who's one of Hawthorn's best players in the first term. Down to Kennedy. Kennedy's kick is short. Matthews late on the scene. Carter caught by Knights, holding the ball. Well, he didn't get much of a chance to get rid of that.
Well, he was stiff at that time, Bob, because he was falling to the ground. He didn't have much chance at all, did he?
No, and that same decision normally would be paid a push in the back.
So, Peter Knights at centre-half forward, a chance to bring up his first goal for Hawthorn. He's been tagged fairly well so far in the opening term. Knights' kick, a wobbly punt up the full forward, off target though, well so, and through for one behind. So the score's 7 goals 5 now to 2 goals 4, and indeed that is the quarter-time score. 7's big league from the SCG. That's the quarter-time score. Hawthorn 7-5, the Swans 2-4, Buckenara 3, Judge 2, Wallace 1, Kennedy 1 for Hawthorn. For the Swans, Cruz 1, Smith 1. They're the goal kickers to quarter-time. I see Peter Knights having some attention on a thigh down there. Not quite sure what they're rubbing in there, but of course Knights in recent years has had a lot of trouble with thigh strain and groin problems and so on. So for Hawthorn's sake, let's hope that he's okay.
Yes, I don't think he really looks concerned about it at all, Pete. But Hawthorn fully deserve their 31-point lead at the moment. They've been making position all over the field, giving the player who has gained possession of the ball something to either kick to or handball to. And on most occasions, they have led to the ball. They've had a good defence, which has really made it hard for the Swans to kick goals. As the quarter progressed, Wallace got on top of Browning in the centre. They had a good player in Shields on the opposite wing. And on this side of the ground, Rhys Jones could not get clear of Langford. He was probably on top of Langford, but at no stage, did he become a dominant player. Whereas on the forward line for the Hawks, they've had players like Buckenara and Judge. Buckenara 3 goals, Judge 2, and they've been dangerous players there. Tuck, Matthews, always dangerous. And around the packs, we have good players in Swab and Green. Green coming on and off the ball, I believe, with Stevie Wright. And he has had the better of Wright around the packs. And Swab also has done his job for the Hawks. So all in all, there's the reason that Hawthorn have a 31-point lead is that they've probably played that much better throughout the term than the Swans.
Right, for all players taking up their positions now for the resumption of play. The rain has stopped. In fact, conditions probably the best they've been all day here in Sydney. Some very heavy rain last night and early this morning that made the ground, especially in the centre, quite heavy, but the remainder of it is not too bad. And the standard of play quite good in the first term. Umpires are Shane Nolan and Ian Robertson, the former getting ready to start play in the second term. We begin the second quarter now from the Sydney Cricket Ground, 7-5 to 2-4 in favour of Hawthorn. Knocked down by Payton again. Wallace and Browning doing battle. It comes out to Langford. Hand pass to Payton. Hawthorn ruckman's kick up towards full forward. McCarthy late on the scene. Matthews traps it well. 25 metres out, and Matthews has put it through for a goal in the opening stages of the second quarter.
Well, I'd reckon, Bob, that any kid that wanted to be or had aspirations of being a rover, scouting around a pack, that was the perfect example how to do it, Bob.
Yes, we'll watch again on the replay. Wallace getting it through to Langford. Payton, who's playing a fine game for the Hawks. McCarthy up high over the top. And Matthews just read it to perfection. That is what roving's all about. And many of the rovers, when they come off the ball, they want to be up on the centre square line. And Lee Matthews was down where he can kick a goal.
That's right.
53-16. Hawthorn leading. Round and Payton. Round wins this one, but it's intercepted by Polkinghorne. Kick smothered by Wright. Payton through the mud. Grabbed by Bernie Evans. Throwing the ball, says the umpire. Evans takes the free kick from centre field. Swings the Swans into attack. Torbett to Cruz. Intercepting is Eade. The umpire says holding the man. And it will be a free kick to the Swans, to whom I'm not really quite sure.
Max Cruz.
Max Cruz. Hanging on when he didn't have the ball, Pete.
And Max Cruz kicked the Swans' first goal. In fact, he kicked the first 7 points for his club. Playing today at centre half forward instead of in defence, as is his norm. Cruz from half forward. I think he's probably kicked it by a half, or like a half-back flanker. It's through for one behind. And that takes the scoreboard now at the SCG 2-5-2-8-5.
We're just on the 2-minute mark of this second quarter as Calvin Moore brings the ball back into play, going straight down the centre. That's the tactics for Hawthorn today. Oh, flying high was Rhys Jones, knocked out by Polkinghorne, picked up by Tuck. They're backing up well at the moment, Hawthorn, as we see Roberts go through, grabbed by Tuck, a fresh air shot. They bounce on that one, and the umpire's going to ball it up out towards the edge of the square. Well, I tipped that they'd be going straight down the ground. That'll be Alan Jeans's tactics for sure here today. Knocked out by Round that time. Tuck tries to break clear, had no hope of getting rid of that one, and the umpire will ball it up in the same position. The difference at the moment is 36 points in favour of Hawthorn. Ball knocked out by Round again, grabbed by Mew, picked up by Evans. Good play on the part of the little rover as he shoots the ball back there towards the full forward position. At the back is Moore. That's a great mark. It's Calvin Moore at his best. Never took his eyes off the ball for one moment. Put the ball down there in the back pocket. A short pass to Polkinghorne. Gets around right pretty easy. He's playing a fairly good game, Polkinghorne, too, as the ball goes out wide towards that half-forward flank. Judge up before acceptances. Finally picked up by Ackley out there at half-back. Back towards the Swans' half-forward line. Frank Garlis knocks it down to Morwood. Doesn't know where to go. Gets it back to right. He scoots around the pack pretty quickly. A pass. Oh, Cruz couldn't hold that one. He went down. This gave Mew a chance, but well tackled by Browning. Umpire said it was too high. It stunned him a bit too. But the free kick will go to Mew. It's a marvellous thing, Bob. Once you get knocked and you get the free kick out, it makes you recover.
Yes, you've got to be real quick if you can't take your kick, Lou.
Better than the penicillin injections. We see the ball 15-metre penalty now. This brings Shields, or Mew, I should say, right up to the centre of the ground on the edge of the square. And the kick is well over half forward. Round in front. And that's a great mark by Barry Round as we approach the 4-minute mark of this second quarter.
Oh, bad miss out there by Ian Roberts. Fumbled at the wrong time. Could have cleared the ball, and it will be a throw-in instead. Hawthorn's left forward pocket. Hawthorn attacking this quarter to the scoreboard in goal. McCarthy and Round in ruck. Won by Round, doing a little bit better in this term. Picked up by Wright. Back to centre field, or centre wing to be more particular. Danaher from the point of the square. Up the right half forward, Frank Garlis and Eade. Frank Garlis had the front position. Eade looks for Knights. Knocked away by Danaher. Tuck traps it well. Almost caught. In fact, he was. And Wallace has given away a free kick for a high tackle that will be taken out there by Tony Morwood. Mew and Cruz at the back as Polkinghorne, and I must agree with you, they're playing a fairly good game across the half-back line for Hawthorn. Missed by Kennedy, knock on by Knights. No one's there for Hawthorn though. Langford comes in eventually, gets it out well. The umpire says a high tackle, on whom I'm not quite sure again. Langford.
Yeah, it was against Carter. It was a pretty touchy one, Bob, I'd reckon.
Well, Rhys Jones having a few words to say. It's not going to do him much good, but it was a ticky-touch good free kick.
Yes, I must agree. Langford from centre half forward has a chance to put Hawthorn further ahead if it's a long kick. It's long, but it's wide, out of bounds. Subsequently on the floor, and it will be a free kick to the Swans, the recipient being Darryl Sutton, who has certainly been the Swans' best buy this year, following on from their purchase of Steve Torbett last year. Danaher from the back pocket, a little bit too slow to get rid of that one. Tuck to Matthews. High towards the square. Kennedy and Carroll. Kennedy had it and then lost it. High tackle again. Let's see who's going to be the recipient of the kick this time. Ackley, is it? Yes. He was on the bottom, so I guess he comes out with the kick. He's a very consistent player this year and last for the Swans. Hasn't played too many bad games. And another free kick this time. Well, there's plenty coming in the second quarter. And this time it's Tony Morwood's kick from left half-back.
And we're just over the 6-minute mark, and it's 36 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Down goes Brady, well tackled by Ayres, picked up by Mew. They're backing up with Ayres. Payton, he's played a great game today. The ball shot out towards that half-forward line. Judge with a hand pass over to Langford. A kick up towards the goal. This could be a goal. No, well played by Dennis Carroll that time and forced through for 1 point. So it's 37 points the difference now. 2 goals, 5-17, the Swans to Hawthorn, 8 goals, 6-54. And about 6.5 minutes gone of this second quarter. Ball back into play again. Langford in the front posse there in front of Browning. He's been pretty quiet today. A hand pass back to Wallace. The umpire said it'll be a free kick to Langford against the Swans. He'll take the free kick at half forward. Gets around Rhys Jones. The ball kicked up there to the full forward position. Plenty of Swans defenders. They're all spawning each other. No one's staying down. So it's actually thrown out the right. That wasn't a throw. I've never seen one. It's finally picked up by Wright. Driven back there, but they're backing up well again, Hawthorn. That's Swab taking the mark. Out wide. And it's Rodney Eade ready to send them back into attack again. Down there towards Shields. Takes an easy mark. Goes for a hand pass over to Kennedy. This is a dangerous one, but Kennedy's got the run of the ball. Back to Matthews. A balk, a snap at goals. It's smothered. And it's by Tony Morwood that time and out of bounds. They're playing, well, they're playing desperate football, the Swans, but not getting far very quickly. Well, not making much headway, I should say. Knocked out by Frangalis. Back towards Matthews. Goes after it again. Oh, he beat 3 of them that time, and that's just about a goal. Now it's 1 point. Deserved a goal because it was beautiful play on the part of Matthews. So it's 2 goals, 5-17. The Swans to Hawthorn, 8 goals, 7-55.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play, and it will be the task of Daryl Sutton to do just that. Sutton from the 10-metre square. Brings it to the member stand side. At the back is Rhys Jones. Kennedy. Green. Hooked back to the forward pocket. Sutton and McCarthy. It bounces through 4-1 behind to Hawthorn. So Sutton being a busy boy in this term. 8 goals, 8-56. Hawthorn, the Swans 2-5-17. Quarter in progress around about the 8.5 minute mark. Sutton again favouring the member stand side. Looking for Barry Round. He's got opposition from Payton, whose attempt to fist it away is successful. Down goes Buckenara. A chance for Frangalis. And also Hawthorn Schwab, but it will be a bounce. At centre half forward for Hawthorn. Second quarter from the SCG. Round and McCarthy. Frangalis and Evans. Evans wins it out to Ackerley. Up the centre field. And doing well in the mud, Danaher. They're like an ice rink out there. Over to Smith. Smith from centre field. Short pass right down the throat of Brady. I think it'll be Brady's first or second kick. And a very good player up here in the matches from Sydney. Beautiful kick by Brady. Just about there. Moore's attempt to punch successful. Out it goes to Mew. Mew clears for Hawthorn up to the half-back line. The only player there is Sterling, and he takes an uncontested mark. Sterling will look for a short pass. It's smothered, though. Bad play. Shields off the ground was equally as good. Missed by Kennedy. A chance for Ackerley. Ackerley to Danaher. Cruz and Mew. No one's marked. Sterling, Mew, Cruz. Long handball, close to the boundary line. In fact, it's gone too long. It's out of bounds.
Well, actually, Muse is on top of Cruz now, Bob.
Is Danaher has gone to the half-forward flank, Lou, with Frangalis going into the back pocket onto Buckenara. So that means that Carroll has come out to centre-half back against Knights.
That's Payton once again getting the ball over to Moore. Payton doing a great job. The ball back to centre field, punched away by Roberts out towards the wing position. Coming out to meet it now is Schwab. He's grabbed by Roberts. Twice he was grabbed and down he goes and hold the ball against him. So it's a chance now for the Swans to go back into attack. But they've got no one up there at the moment. Always going away from the goal, but at least he's given it to a pretty good kick here in Browning. Browning's at centre-half forward. Actually, he's in between centre-half forward and centre field. The kick is a long one into the goal square. But no one there. Once again, it's Payton playing the game of his life today as the ball comes out to Wallace. They've got plenty of backups at the moment, Hawthorn, as it goes out there towards that wing position. McCarthy got up, picked up by Peter Knights, goes for the hand pass, misses the bounce, goes back after it again. Luck's the fortune as he finally picks it up, runs to an open goal. He's grubbed it, don't tell him it's going to be a goal. Picked up by Buckenara, but he carts it over the line for 1 point.
No, I thought Knights might have given it to Buckenara there because Buckenara was on his own in the goal square.
I think Luck must have thought... Knights must have thought the luck was going his way. He was going to keep on going with the ball back into play again. Out it goes towards that half-back line, and a mark taken here by Dennis Carroll down towards the back pocket position.
Knights is limping too.
Knights in a bit of trouble there. Bad news for Hawthorn. There's Cruz coming well down from centre-half forward to take the mark at centre-half back. It's a hurried kick out wide towards the wing position. Punched away by Green. Going after it now is Wallace. Runs into a little right, picked up by Sterling. A hand pass out for Smith. Usually does something with it, but it's too long for Brady. But Ayers is there. Brady gets a hand pass to Browning. Down he goes. Umpire said it'll be a push in the back to Browning.
Who pushed him?
I don't know. I think he's tripped over a piece of mud out there.
Browning dived in my opinion.
Yeah, I reckon so too.
We watch again. Browning,
he sat on his head.
He did sit on him after Browning had dived in underneath.
Well, the umpire said it was a push, but that certainly wasn't a push. Browning from about 35 metres out on a slight angle. The distance won't worry him. It's a matter of accuracy now. And they badly need a goal at the moment, the Swans, as we approach the 11.5-minute mark. Now off target and through for another point. So they're not doing too well at the moment, the Swans. 2 goals, 6-18 to Hawthorn, 8 goals, 9-57. And we waiting for the ball to come back into play. Browning's kicked 3 points without scoring a goal. Moore in front there, couldn't hold that mark. Comes down now to Sterling, scoots around the pack, a long hand pass to Evans. Gets around Matthews beautifully that time, a snap at goal. This is a better kick, it's a goal.
Goal apiece this quarter. Wallace gets the ball, then gets ridden into the ground and completely covered in mud. And coming off the ground for the Swans. In fact, he wasn't coming off the boundary. Forget about it. Up to half forward for Hawthorn. Jackson, he's just come on. Knights traps this one beautifully and a shot at goal.
Free kick though, Pete. Free kick to Jackson, I'd say.
And Jackson has a free kick, has he? Or is it Sutton's? No, Jackson's going to take it. So his first kick of the day will be a free kick, which he will take just off the 10-metre square. Francis Jackson wins the ball wide. Payton's there. All the ruckmen misjudge it. Danaher doesn't. Looks for the hand pass to his skipper. Round. Up the half forward. Ayers at the back and Frank Gardas doing battle. Mew got one in the back or was held. And Chris Mew will take the free kick for Hawthorn. Shields. This time he brings it wide towards the member stand side. The ball going like a top-spin lob, very fast towards the line, and we'll see a boundary throw in.
They're certainly moving Frank Gardas around. I see he's playing down on the forward line now, Bob.
Yes, since Jackson's come onto the ground, Lou, Frank Gardas has gone to the pocket. Rhys Jones this time gets a push in the back.
And a slight altercation with Michael Tuck. And a 15-metre penalty applied against Tuck. Rhys Jones' short pass. Up to half forward. Tony Morwood was off, and the umpire calls it such. Looks for Frank Gardas. Almost took the mark. Good attempt. Played it.
A little fortunate, but
yes.
Nonetheless, he did have a couple of grabs, and there's the second grab. Not very long. Still a little fortunate.
So Gary Frank Gardas from left forward pocket. The pockets here aren't too deep. So you'll certainly see plenty of daylight between the post and a chance to bring the Swans a little bit closer. They've played a lot better this quarter. They've outscored Hawthorn, and that's a beautiful goal. 8-9 to 4-6. Sevens big league from the SCG. Tuck got one too high, and it's Michael Tuck's free kick now from the centre circle. Certainly many more frees in the second term than there were in the first. Up to half forward, he's looking for Knight. Sutton is there and punches the ball clear. A chance for Sterling, who ran into the umpire, or in fact almost. Ackley. Eade and Tuck do battle with Danaher. Tuck looks for Green. Knock on from Green. Back to Eade. Over to Schwab in plenty of trouble. Swans applying a lot more pressure in this quarter. Payton still playing a very good game. Green, short pass. Ill-directed. Jackson and Kennedy out of bounds, right forward pocket for Hawthorn.
Just on 17 minutes gone of this second quarter. And it's 27 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. The ball out of bounds in the forward pocket position for Hawthorn. Knocked down by Round. Matthews missed that one. Down goes Reece Jones. He'll get a free kick. Bit of a wrestle going on again. 15-metre penalty, so Reece Jones is not complaining. He's out there at half-back now. A hurried kick down there towards the wing position. Punched away by Mew. The ball hits the deck. Once again, it's Wallace driving it back into attack. Off the top of the pack again, finally picked up by Roberts. The Swans certainly playing a bit better at the moment. No one could sight that one properly. Wallace, though it's Swab grabbing it, a hand pass back to Tuck. He lost sight of it, and goes Browning. And the umpire will ball it up on the edge of the square.
Hawthorn got their only goal for this quarter, some 30 seconds into the term, and they haven't scored one since.
Well, it's 27 points the difference. Still, it's a pretty big margin, just on 5 goals. We wait now for Round to get that knockout, which he does. Finally, it comes down to Polkinghorn. May have been grabbed a bit high, but the umpire didn't think so. It's Smith driving it back. Beautifully picked up by Ayres. A little slow to get rid of it, but it's okay after Rodney Eade. Another short pass that Shields grabbing the ball out there on the centre wing position. A long kick. Up there towards the full forward position. Off Buckenara's hands. Finally, it's Dennis Carroll and Knights having a battle. Knocked out by Carroll. Going through his Carter. Run into his Hawthorn guy. Couldn't get clear, and the umpire will ball it up about 10 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're 8 goals, 9.57 to the Swans 4.630. Another scrimmage developing, and the umpire will ball it up. Now he found a free kick. Free kick to go out there now. It'll go to Roberts. Roberts down there at full back. Good kick out towards the wing position. Danaher, good mark that time because he had 2 against him out there at half back. Played a bad game, Danaher either. Out towards Frank Garlis and Ayres. Oh, that's just about a mark or a free kick. He'll get the free kick, Frank Garlis. And noted about this fellow, he gives the hand pass over to Sterling. A long one down there looking for Cruz, and Max Cruz has got the mark. So as I said before, the Swans looking a lot better now. Cruz has already kicked 1 goal. It's a difficult shot. He's gone for a lead. Too long for Smith. Picked up beautifully on the half volley that time by Moore. Moore's kick is a long one out there towards Sterling. Coming in to meet it now is Kennedy, and he'll take the ball back into attack again for Hawthorn.
Moncrief will be coming on shortly for Hawthorn. He's warming up. Reece Jones and Knights, the 2 blondes again. Carter up to half forward. Cruz is there. He's got to beat 3, and does.
Looking better now, the Swans, Bob.
Well, they've outscored them, haven't they, this quarter? Browning. Oh, Evans almost. Out of bounds.
There's Moncrief on. McCarthy coming off.
That was entirely predictable. When Hawthorn don't score, they bring Moncrief on, the miracle man. Sometimes he is, sometimes he ain't. Scooped out. Umpire is letting it go. Danaher. Well, gave it to Round, and he was a little bit surprised, Barry Round, to get that one. He was collared. Green for right half-back flank. Looks for Knights, and Knights takes the mark on the run at centre wing. All Hawthorn players are covered, though. He's got to hope for a big mark up there. Moncrief behind Sutton. Taps it out, trying to find Kennedy. Couldn't do so. Roberts is there. Kennedy gives it back to Langford. Langford caught by Reece Jones. Back it comes to Wright. The umpire a free kick, another one to the Swans. They're getting plenty this term, but they're playing in front. And another 15-metre penalty. Right now from centre half back, straight down the ground. Plenty of Swans are there. At the back, Eade has to get past Smith. Does that. Gets it to Schwab. He fumbles. Danaher catches him. Over to Ayres. Short pass by Ayres, or a short kick. Matthews on centre wing. Fumbles. Unusual for him. And Matthews handball out of bounds. Well, Hawthorn not playing with their free-flowing style that they had in the first term. Payton is still doing well in the ruck, though. Wallace on to Green. Green to Judge. Judge to Eade. In the mud. Nowhere to go. Oh, shocking pass. They could get out of it, Hawthorn. On the shoulder. Another free kick to the Swans. By gee, they've had a lot this term.
They're throwing themselves in and getting onto the ball first, and that's the reason that they're getting these penalties.
They're looking better, Bob. Now, the last quarter of an hour, they're starting to play a lot better, the Swans, Pete.
If you lead to the ball, you must get most of the free kicks.
That's right. That's a great mark of Brady. Beautiful grab. Browning, he could kick this. Shot at goal by Browning, long to the forward pocket, and off the hands of Polkinghorne and Frangaros, through for one behind. Well, the Swans, as I said, have outscored the Hawks this quarter. Not decisively, but they're doing it well. Hawthorn have got only one goal, and that came up at the 32nd mark, and we're now 22 minutes into the term.
There's a chance now for the Swans to go back into attack, but a fumble ball going after him, not moving too well, so he goes for the slipper. Back it goes out there, kicked off the ground, this time by Kennedy. And now it's Hawthorn's turn, down to Buckenara, and a good mark, a dangerous player all day today.
Well, in the first quarter he was. He's been quiet this term, Luke.
Well, it hasn't been down to that much. Waiting now for Buckenara to go for goal number 4. About 40 metres out, if that. Angle's a bit acute, at least he's on the right side for a right footer. There's the kick by Buckenara. Hit the post. So maybe luck is turning against Hawthorn at the moment. 4-7-31 the Swans to Hawthorn 8-10-58, a difference of 27 points. Swans badly needing a goal as we wait. But there's a bit of a rustle going on out there. They're shaping up, these two, Smith and Swab. Look at this. TV ringside on a Sunday afternoon.
They both had enough common sense when they saw the umpire to stop.
I'd reckon. Out to Morwood. Gets away nicely from Judge. Oh, he grabbed him by the foot. He'll get the free kick. Well, that was good play on the part of Judge, actually, because Moore was away and running.
Hawthorn taking Payton off and bringing McCarthy back on.
Well, I'm surprised at that. There's a nice mark and a pass. This fella's played a fairly good game. Down or over to Jackson. Down it goes towards Barry Round. A great mark to Mew. Mew's a bit further forward than centre-half back. It's around Cruz. Finally goes for the long kick over half-forward. Buckenara at the back. Oh, it could be a free kick. It'll be a free kick against Buckenara, and the free kick to go to Jackson as we approach the 24-minute mark of this second quarter. Ball back into play again. 27 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. The ball hits the deck. It goes little right. Spins out of the pack beautifully. Now he goes for a kick over the half-forward line. Coming out to meet it as Ayres. Bounces okay, runs into Reece Jones. Beautifully snatched it away from one brilliant play. A running shot for goal. It deserves a goal, but it won't make the distance. Oh, kicked off the ground. It'll be a goal by Sterling. Was it touched or a goal? Must have been touched off the boot that time by Moore. That was good play on the part of Moore. Let's see it in replay, Bob.
And what great play it was by David Reece Jones. It did deserve a goal, and well, you saw there, a great shot by our cameraman. It was touched off the boot.
Centre wing for Hawthorn. Matthews takes possession. Pass to Kennedy, not a good one. Oh, Jackson tried to collect him, lined him up and missed. Buckenara to Knights, to Judge. Hawthorn under a lot more pressure this term, and kicked into Judge by Tuck. Hawthorn not doing much right at the moment. Langford and Jackson in the goal square. He's made a difference to their defence since he came on. And as I said, Hawthorn haven't got, they've only got one goal for the term.
Oh, they've lifted their game 100%. They just can't score goals at the moment, Peter. That's all what's wrong with the Swans.
Barry Round. Surprised they took Payton off, though. That was very surprising. At the back is Mew. Ackley is right there with him. Beautiful Shepherd, but it's out of bounds, I believe, or will it be a free kick to be taken by Chris Mew? We're playing time on the second term. Mew to half forward. Buckenara and Jackson. Carter across the ground. Could be a chance for Langford if the ball bounces okay for him. Reece Jones is on him like greased lightning. Picks it up well, holding the ball. Reece Jones has had far and above the better of that duel in this term.
Look at that pass, Peter.
That's beautiful. Cruz. Let's see what Cruz's pass is like. Equally as good. He's got to pay that mark, and he paid the one to Frangaros before, because that was, he held it longer.
Well, the difference, too, is that Reece Jones is really firing this quarter. He's really delivering the ball beautifully, Bob.
Yes, it's interesting that he's been on this side of the ground in both terms, Lou.
I think Shields has too on the other side, hasn't he?
Yes, well, they've kept Langford with Reece Jones.
So Morwood, left forward pocket, 20 metres out from goal. Hit the post, did it, or is it punched through? No, it's through. One behind, same result. Score, 7th big league from the SCG, 4-9 to 8-10. The Swans this term have added 2-5. Hawthorn have added 1-5.
And we're just on the 27-minute mark. And the difference, 26 points in favour of Hawthorn. The Swans playing a lot better now, but still can't bridge that. Give us a go there for Cruz. and doing pretty well at centre-half forward. And a bit of a lapse for about a quarter of an hour, but coming back in the game. There's a short pass. It'll be okay, and Brady's got it. Brady's directly in front, about 35 metres out from goal. Now, the distance shouldn't worry him, and the Swans batted into goal before half-time. There's the kick. But that's off target and through for another point, so it's 25 points the difference. Well, it must be 24 points the difference, is it?
Yes, Lou.
24 points. Ball back. Oh, there's a bad kick, but it'll be okay. It's picked up by Wallace. Wallace boots the ball back towards the centre of the ground. Off the top of the pack, punched away by Smith. Picked up by Langford. The ball driven back there towards the full forward zone. Jackson in front. Tries to recover. They pile on top of each other. Two Swans spoiling each other, actually. And the umpire will ball it up about 25 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're 8-10-58 to the Swans 4-10-34. So it's a 24-point margin in favour of Hawthorn. Round got the knockout. Howard goes to Knight, scouting out well. The kick is high, back towards full four. Doesn't gather much distance. Carter in front, tuck over his shoulder, and a free kick to Carter. So I'm rather amazed that the Swans are not a little bit closer, because they've played a lot better this last 20 minutes.
Yes, but it's not a game of keepings off, Lou. You have to put the score on the board.
Back it goes. That's a great mark to tuck at centre field. There's the siren to end the second quarter, and at half-time we see the score as Tuck fires at the goal, but won't make the distance. It's 8 goals, 10-58 to Hawthorn, to the Swans 4 goals, 10-34.
We begin the third quarter from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Hawthorn still leading, but 58-34. The Swans a lot better during the second quarter when they outscored Hawthorn. McCarthy's hand pass comes out to Wallace. Roberts in front, and will get a mark or a free kick. Still the Swans get the free kick. Still they play in front. Roberts delivers it out to right half forward. Rhys Jones still on Langford. Been a little bit too fast for Langford. Thought perhaps DP Domenico might have been a better bet there. Tuck from half back to McCarthy. McCarthy's kick off the side of the boot. No man's land. Moncrief, first touch for the day. And a poor hand pass. Picked up by Roberts. He'll get another free kick for in the back. Roberts left centre wing for the Swans. Beautiful kick. Two Swans there. They actually spoiled each other, and it comes to Polkinghorne. Over to Shields, still playing on that wing. And, of course, Rhys Jones still on the members' stand wing. Kennedy in front and takes the mark. So he's showing a good example by playing in front. Maybe a few teammates can follow suit. Shields ran straight into trouble. And it will be a ball up on the outer side of the ground.
So I can never understand handballs like that one.
So a ball up, outer wing. Not a great bounce. It favours McCarthy ultimately. Picked up by Shields, and that's a good kick. Insofar as distance is concerned, for Hawthorn it wasn't a good kick because it's marked by Smith, who brings it back to centre field. Carroll and Morwood spoil each other. That was bad play, but Morwood wins out in the end. Swans having all the possessions in this third quarter so far. Green in front. Has it knocked away from him. McCarthy. Polkinghorne. Knights in front. Well-judged mark. And Peter Knights at half forward. Couldn't score from there. Has the breeze slightly behind him, I would suggest. Certainly that's been the scoring end, and Knights obviously fancies that he's going to get just about the distance. Torpedo punt kick. Moncrief in front, got one hand to it. 3 for 1 behind. Hawthorn's opening score of the third term, 8-11 to 4-10.
Just on the 2-minute mark, and the difference now 25 points in front of Hawthorn. As the ball, bit of a run here by out there towards that Sutton gets the ball out towards that half-forward flank. A hand pass coming out to Shields from Swab. Swab goes for a pass. Too long for Judge, and the ball is out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in right against the Hawthorn point post. There's no doubt about it, since about halfway through the second quarter, it's been all the Swan, but they can't score goals. And that's the name of the game. If you want to win a match, knocked out by Round. Bit of fumbling going on by Jackson. Umpire still letting it go. His hand passes it out to Buccaneer. He goes down. Another stack up here, and the umpire finally brought it up about 25 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. 25 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Luckily, Moncrief got that one down. Finally, Moncrief to snap at goal. Not a bad sort of a kick, but he's off target through for 1 point. So it's 26 points the difference. I'm wondering just how much advantage that breeze is down that end, Bob.
Yes, I don't really believe it's a great deal. I think it was more a case of how well Hawthorn played in the first quarter and then the Swans coming back in that second term.
Rhys Jones is punched away by Langford. He goes down, and Langford hooks the ball back there towards the wing position. Oh, that's a good mark taken there by Green.
Played pretty well, Lou.
Yeah, he's been a solid player all this year. As a matter of fact, he's been a good player ever since he swapped over from St Kilda. The ball by Green is shot across the centre half forward. Knight's flying high, couldn't hold the mark. Down goes Maud. He was grabbed too high. He ducked into that one, but he's got the free kick at centre half back. So we're just on the 4-minute mark as the ball goes back towards centre field. Bit of a slip up that time, and we finally see Wallace driving Hawthorn back into attack, and there's the danger man out there in the first quarter. Once again, Buccaneer are firing at the goals, and I think it'll come around for a goal. It is.
That was Hawthorn's first goal since the 32nd mark of the second quarter. Wallace and Wright doing battle, and it will be a ball up and coming off the ground for the Swans is Bernie Evans. He looks in a great deal of pain, and he will be replaced by Colin Hounsell, who has that left thigh very heavily strapped. A free kick going to the Swans. It will be taken by Barry Round, who wobbles the punt up to half forward. Moore almost claimed the mark. I don't think he would have been plated. And it will be a bounce at centre half forward for Swans. Evans in a good deal of bother down there.
I think it's mud in his eye. I'm not too sure, Peter, because he had the towel up to the eye.
I think it's a little bit more than
yes,
that,
I think
though.
it might be. Rhys Jones takes it from the bounce. Big pack of players. All right, beautifully roved. Browning, well caught. And that's a great mark to Brady. Directly in front of goal and about 15 metres out. Brady has already kicked one for the Swans.
Evans still in a bit of trouble with the trainers there, Bob. He doesn't look as though he's limping.
I'll correct that. Brady hasn't kicked the goal for the Swans, but if he misses this, I think he'd be dragged off the ground. He hasn't. He's put it straight through the middle, so now he's got one to his credit. 5-10 to 9-12. Hawthorn still lead, but only by 26 points. Swans gradually pegging them back as Evans makes his way into the dressing room. So obviously a little bit more than mud in the eye. If that is the case, then they may be able to cure it quickly, but he seemed to be, I think, favouring a knee or an ankle or whatever.
I doubt if he'd need the support of two trainers,
yeah.
Pete, if it was just the mud in the eye.
Hawthorn lead by 26 points. Knocked down by Round. Wright wrestling with Schwab in the mud, and that is real mud wrestling, isn't it? Look at that. It's very, very sticky out there, like a glue pot. Knocked down by McCarthy. Diving on it is Cruz. Gets it out to Wright. Beautifully done. Wright along the ground. Brady. Hounsell. Intercepting is that Langford or Reed. Matthews onto Shields. Onto mud bespattered Wallace from right centre wing. Short pass by Wallace, or short was the operative word. Picked up by Polkinghorn. Back to Wallace again. That pass also wasn't good. Wallace's short pass. Straight down the throat of Francis Jackson. Now Hawthorn's attacking moves not looking particularly good at the moment. That was great interception from Langford. And that's a better pass. That's how to deliver them. And the mark taken at half forward by Schwab. Well, Schwab would be 55 metres out from goal, and with a heavy ball, I wouldn't give him too much of a chance of kicking that one. Moncrief almost marked it, and the umpire says a ball up.
He got into the back of his opponent too.
Yes.
Payton has come back onto the ground.
Yeah, so the umpire wasn't in a good position to see that one. He was certainly not adjacent to the pack, and so a bounce.
There's the bounce. Knocked out by Round. A chance for Judge, but he couldn't get through the pack that time, and it's rolling the ball against him.
A little
By
harsh,
golly, never had much chance there. Smith to take the free kick right against the 15-metre penalty. 15-metre penalty. This brings him well away from the goal square. Goes for a bit of a trot, goes for a pass out wide. And Rhys Jones just about marked that one. He's paid it. And a quick hand pass coming over there to Wright. If they're going to win this game, he's got to fire Reece Jones. He did well in the second quarter. The ball back there around. Oh, he had a collision that time with Mew, but they both lost sight of the ball. Finally driven back there towards the Hawthorn half-forward line. Now it's Tuck's turn. Ball back there to Matthews. He's got the mark. And he's only about good play on the part of Tuck. Spotted Matthews, a hurried kick, and Matthews about 30 metres out from goal on a very slight angle. That's the shot on the screen at the moment. Difference is 26 points in favour of Hawthorn. Just on the 9-minute mark of the third quarter. Kick by Matthews is a good one. And it comes around nicely for another goal. 32 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn at the 10-minute mark as we see a scuffle going on out there towards the wing position, and the umpires decided to ball it up. Swans badly needing a goal to keep themselves within striking distance. Knocked out by Round, but Knight's intercepted. He fumbles. Down goes Mew and also Cruz. Finally, it comes out to Danaher, hand pass to Brownie, but he fumbled too. Down he goes. Tries to tap it out. Picked up by Rodney Eater. Hand pass back to Knights. Knights has grabbed. Threw it out that time. The umpire said play on a swap. Gets a hand pass out to Langford. Another long hand pass to Matthews. In trouble. Is it in the back? No, he said dropping the ball. Well, I'll get your decision on that one, Bob.
Well, to be consistent, all right through the year, they would pay that in the back.
Okay, the ball back towards the wing position. A great mark to Cruz. As Bob said before, doing a great job for the Swans. A long hand pass out to Roberts. He's juggling the ball. He can't pick it up. He's in trouble, but he's clear now. There's a hurried kick. Back it goes, and a mark to Denner. Didn't make any distance at all that time, the Swans. So they're back to where they started from. A short pass. It'll be okay, and there's a mark taken by Cruz again. So Max doing a pretty good job at centre half forward, and he'd be about 40 metres out from goal on a very slight angle. And the Swans badly needing a goal at the moment as they trail by 32 points. Just over 11 minutes gone of the third quarter. Gone for a pass. Oh, golly, he's given it a Barry Round. Oh, that's like giving it to your mother-in-law to have a shot for goal. And hoping she'd win the game for you, Pete.
Sounds like the crowd agree with you, Lou.
Why didn't he have a shot himself? Come on, Barry, can you kick this one? He hasn't let him down. He's put it through, the skipper. Listen, the crowd got mad. They didn't believe it either, Bob. But the umpire proved it because he's waving the two flags. 10 goals, 12-72 Hawthorn to the Swans 6-10-46.
Well, it's a repetition, Bob, isn't it, of the Footscray game. The Swans starting badly and coming back.
Maybe the Hawthorn defenders felt that, like you, Lou, they weren't going to kick it to Barry Round, and that's how he was able to get into that space.
Well, the crowd finding voice for the first time today. They haven't had much to cheer about, certainly not in the first quarter. The Swans outscored Hawthorn in the second term, and they've done it so far in the third. Payton and Round, won by Payton. That's how Hawthorn started off, with Payton winning well in the ruck. Knight up to half forward. Bounce doesn't favour Carter or Tuck. Jackson, who's done well since he came on. Short pass, too long for Reece Jones, but marked by Dennis Carroll. Carroll at right centre wing. Up to the point of the square. Mew and Danaher, knock on by Danaher, picked up by Schwab. Hooked back to the muddy centre, and a mark taken by Judge, who's been very quiet since the first quarter. I don't think he'd favour the muddy conditions here at the SCG. Kennedy from right centre wing. Funny old kick. Moncrief in front. Can't mark it. It's very greasy. Round everywhere at the moment. And Barry playing the game of his life. Gets that one out to Hounsell. Sterling. Strong mark. I don't know that that was the best piece of handball he's done. Reece Jones well caught and throws it out. Matthews. Short to Shields, who's been moved.
Oh, there's a wrestle going on behind play. Reece Jones and...
beautiful knock on by Shields. A chance for a Hawthorn score.
And Payton the prize.
Sutton over the top. Handballs it straight out of bounds. And the umpire talking to Reece Jones.
Said, I'm innocent.
Moncrief and Round doing the ruck battle. Beautiful snapshot. No, it's not. I thought it was going straight through. It was in the right direction. Carroll. In fact, Hawthorn have yet to get a free kick this quarter. Reece Jones puts his head down and comes out with the free kick. Jones from right half back in towards the glue pot centre of the ground. Morwood over the top of Kennedy. Back to half forward. Danaher, well, that was Green, got there first. Danaher now looking for the hand pass. It was a poor one. He was trying to find Ackley, but Polkinghorne's in front. It's Scragg. That might even be Hawthorn's first free kick for the quarter. It is. Over it goes to Shields. That's out of bounds on right centre wing.
And we're just on the 14.5-minute mark, and the ball is out of bounds on that centre wing position. Still 26 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Well, the Swans are certainly playing a lot better than they did in the first quarter, but still can't get those goals. Knocked out by Round over to Browning, back to Sterling again. A hurried kick back there, but it's okay. And once again, it's Max Cruz, shaping up as the best player on the ground at the moment.
He's given Mew a nice old bath, hasn't he?
Mew was on top for about 10 minutes in the second quarter, but he certainly bounced back now, Cruz. A long kick at the goals, looking there for Frangala. Seeds there, but it's off target and through for a point. So it's 25 points the difference. There we see the score as we wait now for the ball. Moncrief on the bench. The ball comes back into play by Moore. Right down the centre. The back is Carroll trying to grab the mark. In goes Hounsell. He's up like a trotter. As the ball comes out to Reece Jones to Barry Round over to Roberts. A kick up there towards the full forward position. There's no one there for the Swans at the moment. Moore goes after it, then finally decides to let it go out of bounds. Out of bounds in the forward pocket. Deep in the heart of the attacking zone for the Swans. So they badly need a goal here at the moment as they trail by 25 points. Grabbed by Danaher. Goes for a snap. It's off target. Goes right across the face of goals. Frangalis goes after, nearly upended. In goes Rodney Eade. They're pouncing on him too, but the umpire will ball it up. Still about 25 metres out from the Swans' goal. Moncrief sitting there. Still think that fella's injured. It's the deck again. It's Tuck coming out with a hurried kick. He usually does in those scrimmages. Out towards Browning. Gets away from Wallace nicely. Another right footer up there towards the full forward position. Flying over the pack was Brady. Couldn't hold the mark. Out it comes again. Kicked out again by Swap. Not doing a bad job. Browning's in the way. And the umpire's paying the mark. So Browning ready to send the Swans back into attack again. Goes for the long kick. At the back is Roberts. The difficult one to mark this one. Oh, there's a great marking defence by Moore.
Kelvin Moore, ever reliable, and his cut was lowered last week by Quinlan, but of course the muddy ground probably helping him out a little bit. Palmed away from Reece Jones, but he still makes amends and then gets ridden into the ground, and the Swans always get the freeze here.
Might have been a bit lucky that time, Reece Jones. I thought he could have gone in for the one a bit harder, Bob.
I think he misjudged the actual mark, too.
Reece Jones up to full forward. Plenty of Swans are there, and again, lack of talking. So big packs of players fly, and the Swans usually have 3 or 4 in them and none waiting down. So a boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Swans, who have been doing a lot of the attacking in this quarter. Round and Payton. It's won by Payton. Gets caught by Danaher, but gets it back to Tuck in the meantime. Tuck, beautiful ball. Roberts in pursuit. Tuck's good enough to get a long kick back towards centre field, trying to find Judge, who was interfered with, and Judge will take the free kick for Hawthorn at centre field. Judge looking for Matthews. Carter is right there with him. Matthews, good use of the body. Jackson, 2-on-1 situation. You wouldn't want to guess it. Another free against Lee.
Well, that's definitely there, Pete. You can only play it if it's there.
I didn't say it wasn't there, Bob. Francis Jackson, who started on the bench and has done a great job for the Swans since he came on. Certainly added a lot of depth to their defence. Green. To half forward. Kennedy and Ackley. Kennedy wins out. Kennedy between wing and left half forward. A short pass. Right down the throat of Greg Smith. Smith at centre half back. Short pass to the wing, unattended as Sterling. I don't know who's on him. Cruz. Putting Mew pointless at the moment. Gary Ayres and Wright. That could have almost been a free to Wright. Sterling again, everywhere. And Kelvin Moore taking the mark again in the goal.
Great defensive play on the part of Kelvin Moore, but they still can't get those goals, the Swans. The ball goes back out there towards Hansel and Payton. Payton going down, Hansel goes down, 2 in goes Browning, taps it out to Frangalis. There's a chance, he's taken a wide sweep. He's going the long way home as the ball is kicked back straight to the arms of Tuck. And it'll take a while to get rid of that one. Out it goes towards Swab. He drops the mark. Smith pounces on it. Goes for a long hand pass, looking for Frangalis again, but it'll beat him and the ball is out of bounds.
Frangalis went the wrong way completely.
Did he ever?
He'd gone onto the left foot. He had a clear run in.
Bob's getting excited here because the Swans can't score a goal as the ball goes back there to Carter. Now it's Knight's turn to send Hawthorn into attack. A long kick down there towards, punched away by Sutton. Buckenham has got it. He's going to be grabbed here as he gets a hand pass back to Shields. Well smothered that time by Carroll. Matthews has grabbed as if dropping the ball. It is. The umpire said yes. Matthews shrugging his head there in disgust.
If he gets a free kick and match, you can buy a bottle of champagne.
Ball kicked back by Carroll out there towards Reece Jones, but there's a 15-metre penalty. This brings Carroll up to centre-half back. Still the difference is 25 points. We're just over the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. And the Swans having plenty of chance. If we can't get that goal to reduce it less than about 24 points for the last quarter and a half. The ball hits the deck. Played on nicely by Shields. A hand pass back to Rodney. Goes for a hurried kick out wide to Chris Mew. He's got the ball at half back. Can't get around Browning. Now he does. A pass back to centre field to Wallace. Another long pass out there wide. Carter comes across. Taken away by Buckenham. Over to Matthews. A goal coming up. Oh, it's a shocking kick. Straight into the arms of Carroll. So they're making mistakes. Hawthorn a little bit lateral. There's a chance now for Judge. Getting up high was Morwood. Couldn't hold them up, but the umpire's paying a free kick to the Swans. It'll go to Carter. Hanging on when he didn't have the ball. Out wide to Browning. Browning and Wallace having a battle. Well tackled by Wallace. And what a terrier this bloke is. Browning could have got away that time, but Wallace's tenacity won out that time. Ball out of bounds on the centre wing position. Hawthorn stopping to a walk a bit, but still the Swans can't get that goal. Down towards Browning. It bounces beautifully for him. A long kick over the half-forward line. Coming out to meet it now is Brady. The bounce beat him, picked up by Moore. Moore's kick is a high one back towards Tuck. Coming at the back is Morwood. Knocked down towards Mew. A hurried kick back. We see a Swans player down. It's Browning. That's bad luck as we see Judge get the ball out now. And it's Tuck driving Hawthorn back into attack out the Knights, and that's a great mark.
Well, Browning in a good deal of difficulty out there. Still in the hands of the trainers. I think he got a heavy knock. Up to full forward. Knocked away by Danaher. No mark to anyone, that one. A stalemate, and umpire Shane Nolan will ball it up just off the edge of the square. The square will do. Very crowded around the bounce. McCarthy tries to take it and give it to Matthews. Well smothered. Wallace is there. Smith handballs it straight through. Couldn't do much else, I guess. And still Browning in difficulty.
Wouldn't want to lose Browning at the moment, Bob, because he's starting to fire.
Yes, and I think...
Did you see what happened, Bob?
Just as he kicked the ball forward, one of the Hawthorn players in coming in to try and stop him kicking the ball collided with Browning, and there was no way that Browning could get out of the way.
Danaher brings it back into play towards the members' stand side. Ian Payton. Payton moving all right. We thought he may have been injured. Kennedy, a shot at goal. And that's touched on the line, I think, yes. So 1 point to Hawthorn. They've kicked only 3 goals since quarter time. They kicked 7-5. They're now 10-14 to 6-11. But, of course, the greasy conditions not making scoring easy today. And Greg Smith, he's done just about everything else in the football field, so why shouldn't he kick in?
He's actually playing in the back pocket this half, Pete.
At the back, Payton knocks it away from Roundy, and Roberts is there. Nearly ran into Stevie Wright. Wright's kick up towards centre wing. Fumbling, Max Cruz, a chance for Mew, and he takes it. Mew up towards the left half-forward flank. McCarthy, and a push out. Who to?
McCarthy.
Browning's still not too good there.
No, he's not too good. And McCarthy has a chance to bring up his first goal for Hawthorn.
Waiting on McCarthy from about 30 metres out. There's the kick. Not a bad sort of a kick either by McCarthy. It'll be a goal. 24 minutes gone of this third quarter. And a beautiful knockout by Payton. Back it goes there to Jackson. A fumble, a hand pass coming back to Smith. Scoots around Kennedy very nice. He goes for a pass. Up there to centre half forward, and Max Cruz has got the mark. He's off quickly. The ball won't make the distance. Now there's Ayres coming across in front of Sterling to take a nice mark. So it's 33 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. And yet the Swans have had most of the play since the start of the second quarter. But they can't score those goals. And that's the name of the game. 15-metre penalty to Ayres down there in the back pocket. So we're just on the 25-minute mark. Out it goes to Swab, and he's played a fairly good game today. Been a solid player as he breaks away that time out there towards the wing position. Goes for a pass. He's found Peter Knights at half forward. Quickly plays on. He better get rid of it. He does. A long kick up there towards Danaher and McCarthy. McCarthy got one hander in. Goes Carter. Plenty of players scrimmaging around, and the umpires decided to ball it up about 15 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. They're 33 points in front at the moment. Knocked out by McCarthy. Punched on by Buckenara. In goes Ackerley. Goes for a hand pass out there to Rhys Jones on the half-back line. He's dropped the ball short. Trying to get it out to Morwood, who pounced on the ball beautifully. Gets away from Green. Another short pass coming up there out wide. Cruz in the front posse. Archie Mew, he goes down. He's dropped the ball, the umpire said. And it'll be a free kick to Mew.
It's raining too at the moment.
Short pass. Matthews has got it. Oh, there's Rhys Jones got into his back, and the umpire said a free kick and a 15-metre penalty. Well, I don't suppose Rhys Jones could do nothing much else than that one, but Matthews a pretty tough character, and he got up okay. So the mark now, though, to Langford. The ball shot across to centre half forward. In front is Barry Round, and the skipper for the Swans takes the mark at half back. Hand pass over to Ackley. Another high kick back towards the wing position. Coming in there is Sutton. That's a great mark. Playing down there in attack now. They're trying to get someone to kick goals because they've had plenty to play, but they can't score goals. And they're trailing by 33 points. That was a lovely mark, Bob.
Yes, it's a great mark, Lou, and a nice kick as well.
Up the top of the pack. Backing up there is Eade, and Brady finally pushes out to Frangalis over to Moore. This could be the goal they need. It's a goal, a beautiful goal by Moore.
Matthews runs around Carroll, gets tripped up, and that's how the umpire sees it. So Lee's finally got a free kick. He's saying it should be downfield, but that's a bit optimistic.
He's getting it.
He's not playing it downfield, though, Bob, is he?
No, not downfield. He's getting a 15-metre penalty. I think that's what he was looking for.
Matthews on the point of the square as this rain continues to fall, possibly favouring the end two, which Hawthorn are kicking. Matthews kicked well off target. In fact, no, it scraped in for one behind. So Hawthorn lead by 28 points, 53 to 81, 11-15 to 7-11. Just drizzly rain at the moment, making conditions unpleasant for players and spectators alike. Kick out dropping a little bit short. McCarthy takes the grab, plays on. Looking for Judge, one of those badly delivered kicks. Judge flies, can't take the mark. Kennedy snares it. A shot at goal. Full points. Well, Kennedy very quick to pounce on the ball there, and a quick reply for Hawthorn. 12-15, 87 to 7-11, 53.
This is a great piece of play by Kennedy, and he's played pretty well across that half-forward line. There's a nice mark in these conditions. It's raining quite heavily at the moment, and Judge almost took the mark, but Kennedy swooping on it in real Hawk style and putting it through.
Yes, the rain getting a little bit heavier. It started as a drizzle. Alan Jeans would probably welcome a hat at the moment.
The old-fashioned coach down there on the bench, Bob.
Knocked away by Round and Sterling. Frangalis caught by Eade. Butters up well, runs straight into Polkinghorn as the siren goes for three-quarter time. As we check the scores, the Swans 7-11-53, trailing Hawthorn 5-3-1. As we get some comments from former triple Brownlow medalist Bob Skill. Bob, well, can they come back, the Swans?
I doubt very much whether they can bridge a 5-goal, virtually a 6-goal gap, not just because of the rain, but because of the fact that they've only been able to kick 7 goals in the first 3 quarters, and they have not been able to take advantage of a winning player in Cruz at centre-half forward. Normally, if your centre-half forward is on top, then you're able to at least put a few goals on the board. And they have not been able to bridge the gap at all. In fact, at quarter time, we had a 31-point advantage in favour of the Hawks, 24 points at half-time, and now it's 34 points. So they just cannot get any closer than 24, 25 points or thereabouts. And each time they do, the Hawks come back and equalise the score. Maybe not immediately, but they the Hawthorn still look far more dangerous up forward. And if the Swans flankers can come into the game and give Cruz the support that's needed, they could get back into the game, but I doubt very much.
Today's match is part of the Holden Premiership season.
The interesting move, Pete, was Peyton not coming back onto the ground after half-time.
Well, he's moving all right, Bob. He must be fit, surely.
He does appear to be. He's still playing quite well and has rucked well. In fact, when he's been on the field, he's been had easily the better of the ruck work, and he's picked up kicks around the ground as well. Whether he is carrying an injury, because we do know the great courage that Ian Peyton does have, and he's carried some shocking injuries at times throughout his football career, and just keeps trying. I think Alan Jeans once said that he's got a heart as big as himself, and he does seem to be wearing some sort of pad on his thigh there, and carrying, it looks like, what you see the cricketers use, thigh pad.
Well, depends what you're talking about, Bob.
Maybe it is a cricketer's thigh, but it would be useful.
Tell you what, Bob, too, the mere fact that the Swans handled the ball possibly twice as much as Hawthorn did during the last two quarters, yet the name of the game is to score goals. They just can't do that, except for Cruz. That's the only effective forward they've got, really.
On many occasions, too, Lou, they've, instead of going direct at goal, we take an example when young friend Garlis swung onto the right foot, which meant he went in a circle of about 20 metres and put him back towards a half-forward flank. If he'd gone onto the left foot, then we would have found that he would have maybe been able to go onto straight into open goal. So, the lights on. We're just about set for the final quarter. The umpire's just waiting for the respective trainers and other such people to get off the ground. We begin the final quarter at the Sydney Cricket Ground with Hawthorn leading 87-53. Light rain still falling here at the SCG, making conditions very unpleasant for players. Ackley's kick is short, out to Langford, who takes the mark on top of Stevie Wright. Plays on. Langford up towards right half forward. Smith in the road and takes an uncontested mark. Plays on. We go towards the outer side of the ground, trying to find out there Hounsell. Shields was right there with him, and the ball over the boundary line. We'll see it thrown in left forward pocket for Hawthorn. Certainly he's going the long way home, though, because Hounsell was, we could have saw that he had someone on him, and they're no closer to goal now than they were when Smith took the mark.
Knights wins that one from Barry Round. Ackley is in there, getting caught as Buckenara. It comes back to Ackley. Shoots it out to Hounsell, in trouble. And it will be a ball up. Official attendance today here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, 10,084. Which I think, in view of everything, is quite a good crowd, because the weather conditions last night and this morning, and in fact this afternoon, haven't been at all good. Knights got very high but missed it. The hand pass to Kennedy, not a particularly good one. Kennedy goes back to Buckenara. High to full forward. McCarthy's got three opponents. Back to what was almost a Matthews. A snapshot by Langford. He's missed that, made a real mess of it, and out of bounds. Might have been better to leave it to Lethal, I think. And so a penalty kick will be taken in the back pocket by Danaher. Looking for a lead. None coming. Round in front. Knocked away by Peyton. Good hefty thump. Ackley close to the boundary line to Rhys Jones. Scrambles it back into play up towards centre wing. Could have been on the shoulder there to Max Cruz. Puts his head down and he's caught by Peyton. And he's got a mark or free kick, call it what you will.
Free kick to Peyton out there, just on the 2-minute mark, and Hawthorn in front by Cruz, I should say, and the difference 34 points. There's a good mark to Tuck at centre half back. Tuck's kick is out wide, and Judge on his own will take the mark. A hand pass to Shields out there at half forward. Another kick coming down there towards Kennedy. Oh, Danaher went out the pack. He came flying out. Kennedy gets a hand pass out again, looking for Matthews, picked up by Jackson. Knocked on by Danaher again. That's a hefty punch back towards Tuck. He goes down. This is a chance for Morwood to knock the ball on. Coming in to meet it is Wallace. Wallace taps it over so he can get balance better, and finally kicks the ball back to half forward. And there'll only be a free kick to Knights there for a push in the back. Yes, he's got the free kick at centre half forward, Peter Knights.
He certainly made sure the umpire saw it.
So it's 34 points the difference, approaching the 3-minute mark of this last quarter in favour of Hawthorn. Kick by Knights. Doesn't make the distance. The back is Barry Round. Lost sight of that one. In goes Matthews. Actually McCarthy got in the way of him that time, and it's out of bounds. Out of bounds in the forward pocket, just about against the Hawthorn point post. So he's limping a bit too, Barry Round. Talk about the walking wounded out there for the Swans. Knocked out by Danaher. Taken away by Smith. Chance now for the Swans to get the ball back there to Reece Jones on the centre wing position. Goes for a pass. In chips Mew. He's lost sight of it again now. He gets it, taps it back to Wallace. Grabbed another hand pass coming back out there towards Langford and Reece Jones. They both go down. Reece Jones is the one that comes out. Good play as he gets it over to right. And the little rover on the wing position hooks it back towards Hawthorn, half back line. A good mark to Frank Garlis. So Frank Garlis now ready to send the Swans into attack, and they badly need a goal. Kick by Frank Garlis is up there towards Sutton, trying to get the fly at the back. Got his hands, but couldn't hold the mark. But the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Calvin Moore in between full-back and centre-half back positions.
Moore out to Wallace on the point of the square. I see Browning's up on his feet and moving okay, so that's good news for the Swans. Knocked down to Jackson with Buckenara. Ackerley waiting for the palm out. It didn't come, and a bounce will take place at left half forward for Hawthorn.
You've called a couple of times, Pete, how well Jackson has gone since coming on today.
Well, he started on the bench, Bob, and he certainly made a difference to their defence, hasn't he? Haven't kicked too many goals since he's been on the field, and there he is again. Not a great kick, but it's found Browning. That's all you have to do. He'll kick it long. Green playing in front. Takes the mark before Sterling can get there. Ayres up from the back pocket. A short pass by Ayres around the wing position, and it's taken by Michael Tuck, but very close to the boundary line. Tuck on right centre wing for Hawthorn. Beautiful kick. Looking for Matthews, palms it down, trying to find Judge, not successful. A Swans player has trapped it. He'll get a free kick for on the shoulder, and looks like Tony Morwood getting up from that lot. To Smith. Well, he'll find Browning. Well, he almost found Browning. DP Domenico on the ground, and he's... Oh, goodness me. And he had his hand kicked off. Over to Schwab. Up to half forward. Knights. Well caught. Back to Wallace. Into the 10-metre square, and there's only one player there, and that's the bionic man himself.
And he's coming back. He was going out towards the wing position. Now he's shot the ball across there towards the centre-half back position. Punched away again by DP Domenico. Picked up by Wright. A high kick out wide towards that wing position. Hand pass coming over there from Roberts to Little Hounsell. Very heavily bandaged. Gets a hurried kick down there towards the full forward position. Punched away by Green. This defence backing up well as Mew gets it out to Calvin Moore. A pass out wide. And then we see Swab take the mark. Gets around Sutton very easily. Got plenty of time to steady and fire the ball up there towards the half forward line. Coming in to meet it now is Carter, and he overruns the ball. Knocked on by Matthews. Looking for Shields. It bounces right. A left foot kick at the goal. Not a bad sort of a shot either, but it's off target and through for 1 point. So just over six minutes, Barry Round is off the ground. I thought he was limping before, Bob. It's a bit of a blow to the Swans.
Yes, Round at any time is likely to respond to a situation such as this and take those marks that are required.
Wallace with a hand pass back to Matthews. Another one coming back here to DP Domenico. A long hand pass to Kennedy. Taps it over nicely to Green. A shot at goal. And the result is full fire. It's a goal.
Knocked away by Torbett, having a run in the ruck with Round on the sidelines at the moment, but I think he'll be back soon. DP Domenico palms it out beautifully. That was well done. Picked up by Mew. McCarthy playing behind and has infringed on the shoulder. That one plain as the nose on your face, and it will be a free kick to Anthony Danaher at centre half back. Playing a lot better than he did against Essendon. Smith always plays well. Looks for Roberts and finds him. Right half back flank. Roberts on the move. Cruz leads out beautifully. The judo throw. Hounsell from half forward. He's only about 15 metres out from goal now. Fires and has put it through for 4 points. Well, Hounsell, when he's been on the ground, Bob, has always been doing something, but obviously not 100%.
No, but he seems to be moving okay when he actually gets the opportunity. And once again we watch, and Max Cruz, who's done a great job at centre half forward, a hand pass across to Hounsell, and going right through the centre.
And Gary Frangalis coming off the ground, Barry Round back on. So the predictions were correct. Round not staying on the sidelines too long, and that rain still falling here. Knocked away by Payton, not very far. It's still in the glue pot. Browning had a kick at it and missed it. Rhys Jones, lovely ball. Up to half forward, the Swans into attack again. Off the hands of Ayres, Green is there. And a stalemate, we'll see a ball up.
Just on 9 minutes gone, 35 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. A ball up about 35 metres out from the Swans' goal. Rain still falling pretty heavily. Knocked out by Mew into the hands of Cruz. He fumbles. Sterling's kick is smothered also out towards Browning. Didn't know where to go that time. Ducks his head and the umpire said it'll be a ball up. Still about 35 metres out from the Swans' goal. Well, this is making it all the more difficult for the Swans. They're not playing well enough at the moment. They've got a couple of injured players out there too, which doesn't help. Knocked out that time again by Mew. Coming back to Browning. Down he goes. Very slippery. The hand pass coming back there in the way that time was Eade. Intercepted by Carroll. In goes Roberts. Takes it away from him. Goes for a pass. Looking for Sutton, but DiPiero goes in the way. I think he was off, but he got a hurried kick over there to Hounsell. And he's only about 20 metres out from goal, directly in front. I think he got the colours mixed up that time, DiPiero.
Oh, he was held as he kicked the ball.
I know that, but it was a good effort to get rid of it, just the same. So a chance now for Hounsell to make the difference, 29 points. There's the kick. Now that's another goal to the Swans. They're bouncing. Approaching the 11-minute mark, 29 points the difference. The ball shot back there by Swab. He's been a very good player and a nice pass out there tonight. And a chance now for Hawthorn to go deep into attack from that half-forward line. Kick falls a bit short, and Jackson gets his hands to it. Finally, a snap at goal by Buckenara won't make the distance, and marking it right on the line there is Danaher. So we're just on the 11-minute mark, and still 29 points the difference, and rain pelting down at the moment. Very misty rain. It's hard to see the players out there as the ball is knocked away again. Finally coming out that time is Torbert. Hooks the ball back out there towards the wing position. Going out to meet it as Eade smothers it well, taps it on, but it's a chance here. It'll go out of bounds on the centre wing position.
So boundary throw in left centre wing for Hawthorn. This persistent rain. Torbert loses it to Payton. Jackson is there. Schwab takes the mark.
Played a fine game today, young Schwab.
Oh, what he is.
He's on left centre wing. 16 kicks to Schwab. Knights at the back, tries to take a screamer of old, not successful. Wallace's handball over the top to Shields. He loses it out. Picked up out there, that looks like Roberts in all the mud. Swan player grab, we're not in possession. He'll take the free kick, but it's play on. Hounsell doing a lot of useful work, and he's kicked their last 2 goals. Round and Moore. Oh, here's a goal coming up. All he's got to do is take hold of the ball. Morwood shrugs the tackle well and puts it through easy as you like.
Well, they're bouncing back now, Bobby.
So Morwood bringing up his 2nd goal of the day, and the Swans looking as good as they have at any time during the match. 71 to 94, 23 points the difference.
No, if they're in there with a chance, they've done exactly what they had to do. Kick 2 quick goals before Hawthorn could answer, and now they have got within 23 points, and it's still a long way to go in these conditions. 4 goals, particularly as the quarter progresses, you do get tired, and but they will have their tails up at the present moment.
Swans looking good. They've kicked the last 3 goals and in with a real chance to bring off an upset win here. Knocked away by Torbert, doing some good work at the bouncers now. They swing into attack again. Brady looks for Hounsell, can't take it. Shields, grab, we're not in possession, and he'll take the free kick.
23 points the difference. And we're just over the 13-minute mark, so there's plenty of time for the Swans to win this one. A 15-metre penalty. This brings him up to the centre of the ground. Well, it's over. It's a 30-metre penalty. Now he drives it very high back over the half-forward line. A chance here for Rhys Jones to take the mark. Well, ball goes back out there now. It's a mark to Ackley, the half-back, and the Swans back in business again as the ball goes over their half-forward line. Canterbury, oh, he's knocked Moore out the way, and Moore will get the free kick for interference. Ran into it that time. Listen to the crowd hooting the umpire for the decision, but it was there. Listen to that hooting of the crowd. Only about 8 Hawthorn supporters out there. Torbert goes the big punch. They pile on top there. Brady's in the thick of things too, and the umpire's going to ball it up at centre field. Just on 14 minutes gone. Still 23 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Rain still pelting down. That's going to help the Hawks. No end. Finally, it's Swab again, getting a kick back there to Knights, and he backs into Smith but takes the mark. So Knights has got a chance to send them well into attack. Should lob this one in the goal square. I should imagine he'll go for the long kick under these conditions. Been around long enough to know that that's a long kick by Knights. At the back there, this Reece Jones, and off the top of Reece Jones' hand, and it goes through for 1 point, so it's 24 points the difference now. 10 goals, 11-71, the Swans to Hawthorn, 13-17-95. The ball back into play again. As they go for Brady to mark this one. Billy got one from Peter Knights. Hand pass to Browning. Back over their half-forward line. They're back into attack. Sutton in front, and he's got the mark. So Sutton out there at half-forward, about 50 metres out from goal. Well, can they get a couple more goals to really make this a close one? Up there towards Barry Round, more at the back, and Barry Round taps it down to Sterling. Going to his right, he was grabbed. Umpire said play on. Now he's going to ball it up about 15 metres out from the Swans' goal. Oh, nearly a free kick to the little right that time. Round juggles that one down. Crashing through is Sterling. The ball finally thrown out. 2 Swan players fighting over. Roberts gets it out back to Brady. He's grabbed, well tackled by Eda. Hand pass back to Barry Round, and he snapped it through the skipper. What a goal!
Browning up to Cruz. Here they go again. Round and Moore. Oh, was it Round lost a boot? Somebody's lost a boot down there at Round. Well, he wouldn't be able to kick any worse.
I think he's forgotten about his injury, Round. I'm not kidding. He's a marvellous skipper, this guy, Bob, isn't he?
He's a great leader.
Yes, he went off the ground, came back on, and it's amazing what a couple of goals can do for you. So he got to do battle in the ruck now without a boot.
It's just as well we've got the lights here at the Sydney
That's right.
ground.
It'll be midnight. Up to Knights and Carroll. Hand pass out to Payton, who fumbles. Knocks it on. Langford, well caught. Over to Wallace, likewise caught. DP Domenico had a couple of grabs, could have almost been played the mark, and dives right into Carter's shoulders and gives away a silly free kick. Jackson to Smith. Back to centre field, waiting behind Polkinghorne. Why he was ever taken off the ground, I do not know. And the mark taken by Carroll. He was replaced by DP Domenico. He went off, Judge came off, and DP Domenico came back on. Sutton got into the back of tuck, and the umpire has given it to Sutton.
Paid the mark,
has he?
Yes, he paid. It was a beautiful mark, Peter.
Darryl Sutton just short of half forward. Round still without a boot on. Behind the pack, Sterling. Roberts in the goal square. Hounsell, 3 goals for the hit the post. Certainly getting our money's worth here today.
Oh, young Sterling could have had a shot, and he went for the hand pass.
Yes, I couldn't understand that, Lou. Well, it's inexperience, and it's youngsters have got to learn, and the only way to learn is out there on the ground. And I'm sure young Sterling, when he realises now exactly where he was, does realise the mistake that he did make.
17 points the difference, and we're approaching the 18-minute mark of the quarter. Still plenty of time for the Swans to get up.
Ball back into play again. The Swans back with their second win. The ball pushed away, coming in to meet it. His right, he's grabbed, he's collared that time by Shields. It's holding the ball. The free kick going out there at half-back. Tucks down. Oh, we see the mark dropped out there now. Coming after us, Kennedy grabbed too high, and the free kick will go to Kennedy. Still on that half-back line for Hawthorn. 17 points the difference as we approach the 18.5-minute mark of this last quarter. And once again, the Swans are turning on a thriller. They're back trying to win this game as the ball goes out. It's a great mark to Peter Knights. Still juggles the ball as he hits the ground. Out there on that centre wing position. And I should imagine he'll go for the long kick again. There's the kick down there towards the forward pocket. Ball hits the deck again. Ball knocked out again. A fumble going on that time. Pushed out by Ackley. Finally picked up by Jackson. A long kick over the wing position. Oh, golly, Mew goes down, but the umpires found a free kick against Roberts for interference. So Mew to take the free kick out there on the centre wing position for Hawthorn. Kick back over half forward. Coming through is Torbett. Went the punch. Wasn't a good one. Coming out to meet it now is Danaher. Tries to kick it off the ground. Missed. McCarthy's in there too. Reece Jones trying to get out, but the umpire will ball it out about 30 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. And they're in front by 17 points at the moment, approaching the 19.5-minute mark. Punched out again by Torbett. Comes back there to Buckenara. And finally, Jackson got one too high. Picked up by the big fella Carter. He gets clear. The ball back to centre half forward. Roberts goes the big punch. The ball's knocked out. In goes Max Cruz. Kicks it off the ground. Down to the forward pocket. It's Shields and Hounsell going after it. Down, there's a chance now for Max. He goes for the... Oh, he balks like a rover. A pass back there to Barry Round. He couldn't hold the mark. It hits the deck. There's Tuck. And Tuck's taken the ball away up towards that wing position. It's real pressure football and a good mark taken out there by DP Domenico on the centre wing position.
Short pass by DP Domenico, trying to find Matthews. Right, and Matthews. Matthews scoops it out to Eade. The umpire's found a free kick, of course, against Matthews. Right, at right half-back flank. Looking for Brady. Can't find him. Smith is there. And goes in and gets it, as usual. Out it comes to Dennis Carroll, back to Rhys Jones. And the hand pass was too hard for Ackerley to accept. Eade, wild handball. DP Domenico takes it, left half forward flank. If that's a kick, it's a funny old one. Jackson again. Plenty of pressure. DP Domenico's soccer-type shot into the goal square. McCarthy's there, off the ground.
Oh, that could be the killer.
And a goal. Taken away by Tuck from the centre bounce. Matthews, good use of the body and plays on, steadies. A shot at goal and shaved the post, I think, or is it through? No, it's a goal. Well, Matthews applauding the pass and putting through his third goal for the game. 15-17, 107 to 11-12, 78. Two very quick goals by Hawthorn have just about sealed the issue. Let's watch it again. I sort of thought the ball shaved the post. I wonder if we see that. Maybe just a little bit too high. No, missed it by about a metre.
Yes, and Pete, Michael Tuck has played a fine game right throughout the day, but in this last 10 minutes or so, if ever there was a player in the Hawthorn side who has really responded to the situation and risen to the occasion, Tuck has really come into it.
Well, he's had about 30 possessions up to this stage of the match, Bob. A great player for the Swans, for Hawthorn. So it's just over 22 minutes gone and 29 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn now at the centre bounce. So I think their run's gone now for the Swans as the ball is knocked out by Payton the second time too. The push back there towards Roberts. Tuck once again taps it over there to Payton. It's scooped out to Green. He fumbles. Rhys Jones can't pick it up, but Green got one in the back and he'll take the free kick out there on that centre wing position. Better to send Hawthorn back into attack again. Short pass. And the mark taken here by Swab. He's been a fine player today, this fella. Gets around his opponent, Brady, very nicely. He goes for a long kick up there towards the full forward zone. McCarthy got his hands but couldn't hold the mark, and it's finally forced through for 1 point. So it's 30 points the difference now as we approach the 23-minute mark of this last quarter. Well, I think the rain stopped, but when the Swans were really coming at Hawthorn, the rain certainly helped Hawthorn, but they've bounced back now and they've got this game sewn up, I would say. Ball back into play again. Torbett's there, taken off the pack that time by Brown. He couldn't get clear. DP Domenico, he hasn't played a bad game since coming on the ground either. And the ball is out of bounds. Been a fair player too, Bob, hasn't he?
Yes, well, one thing you know about DP Domenico is he's always going to be in there trying.
That's right. Ball out of bounds in the forward pocket. Torbett coming in against McCarthy. DP Domenico's at the back. He's grabbed the one. He's had a snap at goal. Didn't make the distance. Danaher goes the punch. Back it comes again to McCarthy. He's grabbed, gets it out to Shields. Shields down there in the forward pocket position. Gets clear his opponent. Browning goes for pass, looking for Matthews. Punch to... Oh, he's got it! Oh, he's dumped him, Torbett. But he's got the mark, or is it Carter? So it's a chance... There it is, as we see Matthews juggle that mark, and there's no doubt about him. He's another pressure player, too. When they need him, he's there, Bob.
He's always there.
He's always there, this guy, as we wait for Matthews to fire from about 20 metres out. But he's off target, and it's through for another point as we approach the 24.5-minute mark. The Swans 11 goals, 12-78 to Hawthorn, 15-19, 109.
Ball back into play. And at the back is Ackerley, your fine mark. Too good of the air for Terry Wallace. Ackerley left half-back flank now to put the Swans up towards centre field. Missed by Kennedy, but he makes amends, gets around Ian Roberts. Good bump by Smith. And stalemate. No one getting anywhere, and umpire Robinson deciding to ball it up just off the edge of the square. Rain has all but stopped. Thumped away by Peyton. Rhys Jones should get there first. DP Domenico runs right into his shoulder and has given away the free kick. Rhys Jones looking for a 15-metre penalty. Asks the question of the umpire. None forthcoming. At the back, Polkinghorne, and a good mark, though, chipping in from the side was Kennedy.
Had a fair game too, Bob. Kennedy.
Yes, he has played well, Lou.
Kennedy is at right half-back, taking plenty of time in the belief that Hawthorn had the game won. He's gone for a short pass.
You'll have a difficult job picking the Rank Arena winner, Bob, today, I should imagine.
No doubt, Lou.
Schwab to Polkinghorne. Very close to the boundary line, bounces over the head of Smith and taken by DP Domenico up towards the forward pocket. It's very close to the boundary line. I think Danaher will be content to see it over, and in fact that's what he's done, and so we'll see a boundary throw in right forward pocket for Hawthorn as we approach the 26-minute mark of the term. The Swans got to within 17 points midway through the quarter. Hawthorn steadied though with 2 quick goals. Wallace's kick is well smothered. In comes Browning. Almost ran into his opposite number 11, Buckenara, who tackles well. The umpire says a ball up. And no one making any headway at all here at the moment. Torbett will contest the ruck duels with McCarthy, who comes in from the back. Won by Torbett. Literally pinched by DP Domenico. His shot at goal, I think, out of bounds. Yes, it is on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Swans' left back pocket.
26.5 minutes gone of the last quarter. And the difference, 31 points in favour of Hawthorn, so they've got this game well sewn up now. Just as well we've got the lights here too, Pete and Bob, because it's very dark, isn't it?
Very dark indeed.
Very dark without the lights.
Ball back into play again after that half-back flank position. Punched away by Peyton, picked up by Smith. They're still not giving up, the Swans, but I think it'll be too late. Well, it is too late as we see the mark taken down there by Chris Mew on the centre wing position. The kick is back there towards their half-forward line. Punched out by Torbett, and the ball is out of bounds. This time it's on Hawthorn's half-forward line, about 65 metres around from their goal. So it's Hawthorn 15-19, 109 to the Swans 11-12, 78. Punched out by Peyton. Knocked down towards the forward pocket, coming into meet it as Rodney Eads scoots around the boundary line. He's going to have his pot shot at goal, and what's he done? 1 point. So it's 32 points the difference now as we go to the 27.5-minute mark. 15-20, 110 Hawthorn to the Swans, 11 goals, 12, 78. Danaher with a short pass. Out there to Rhys Jones. He's grabbed the mark away from Langford, a little short of half-back. Another pass, and Jackson's got the mark. This time he's on the half-back flank position. But the sting's gone out of the Swans at the moment as the ball goes back to centre field. Peter Knight's in front. And a beautiful mark by Moore. Been a pretty effective player today, Tony Moore, as he goes for a short pass out wide. But once again, Kennedy gets his hands on it, couldn't hold the mark. He was grabbed, and it may be a free kick going this time to the Swans to Brady. It was going to be, yes, it's Brady to take the free kick at half forward. But a good distance out from goal. He goes for a short pass. Too long for Max Cruz. It hits the deck. Backing up well as Mew, knocked out by Morwood. In goes Tuck. He's grabbed by Cruz. And the umpire's going to ball it up at centre half forward. We're just on the 28.5-minute mark. And the difference still 32 points in favour of Hawthorn. And it's all over bar the shouting now. Even though the Swans have put up a valiant effort. But goals are the name of the game. And they couldn't score them when they had all the play. Tuck's kick is a fresh air shot. But the umpire said they grabbed him on the shoulder. And at the 29-minute mark, Tuck takes the free kick at centre half back.
When you realise that Hawthorn led by 31 points at quarter time, the Swans have kept pace with them for the remaining 3 terms, so that's probably where Hawthorn won the match, statistically speaking anyway. 15-20, 110 to 11-12, 78. Hawthorn victorious at the SCG. All right, Bob, a quick comment from you before we take a break, and then we'll come back with our best players to win the Rank Arena award this afternoon.
Well, we've got a 32-point margin at the finish of the game. It was 31 points at quarter time, and that pretty much sums up the situation. I'm looking down there at the moment. I see Barry Round hobbling off the ground, so he certainly is in a bit of pain and trouble at the moment. That was Terry Wallace whistle going off there. But as the game progressed, Max Cruz wasn't anywhere near as dominant in the last quarter, which much because of the fact that his opponent, Chris Mew, came right back into things. But all in all, you could take nothing away from the Hawthorn side. They did get the break at the start with wonderful football. Their forwards were loose. Their disposal out of the centre was very constructive. And from that moment on, the game was over. And as I said, 1 point was the difference in the last 3 quarters. And I'm not suggesting for one moment that if you forget the first quarter, that the Swans would have had a chance, because many games of football are won or lost in one game, 1 quarter. And the Hawks fully deserved their win because that 1 quarter, they were so dominant and they held that margin from then on.
All right, well, that's it from the SCG, 15-20, 110 to 11-12, 78. You're watching 7th Big League, and we'll be back here at the cricket ground for our best players and the Rank Arena Award after this message. Welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground and checking the final scores here in the match from round 13. Hawthorn 15-20. So a 32-point win over the Swans, 11-12, 78. And as you pointed out, Bob Skilton, they led by 31 points at quarter time. So indeed, the Swans keeping pace with them for the 3 remaining terms. The goal kickers for Hawthorn, Buckenara got 4, Matthews 3, Judge 2, 2 to McCarthy, 2 to Kennedy, and singles to Green and Wallace. And for the Swans, 2 goals to Morwood, 2 to Hansel, 2 to Round, and singles to Frangalis, Evans, Brady, Smith and Cruz. That brings us to our best player of the award, a very difficult decision again. So, old timer, it's over to you.
Yes, it is a difficult one today because Max Cruz to 3/4 time was a wonderful player at centre-half forward for the Swans, but didn't quite go on with things in the last quarter as he would have liked himself personally. There were great players in the Hawthorn side. Under pressure, we saw Lee Matthews rise to the occasion. Michael Tuck was a great player when the Swans got their run on him. He repeatedly put them out of the danger area. But for 4 quarters of football, the Rank Arena Award today I'm going to give to one of the Hawthorn youngsters. I felt that Peter Swabb's game today, for 4 quarters, he was in there, playing a wonderful game. And so the Rank Arena Award today, definitely Peter Swabb of Hawthorn.
All right, and is of course a grand prize. Let's check on it now.